Wow.
Vanilla Grimace in the house. What's up, Michael Gaines, Travis Terrell? We are live. We're live from Midcoast Studio. Well, you weren't. I thought you had something ready to fire off there. Like
I did. I was just like shocked by how beautiful I looked on the screen.
Yeah,
Good
Michael
God.
Gaines is here. He's ready to take back the airwaves from us. Travis, is it good to see this lump of sexy sitting right here in the studio?
Look, I haven't had sex in 2020. So this is the
Did you in
most-
2019?
I was just gonna say 2018 for that matter.
I had some snibbles.
Snibbles.
But in 2020,
Did you do something to one of those puppets in New York?
That's not appropriate, Chris. Completely inappropriate. But what is appropriate is the excitement below my pants right now about Michael Gaines being in studio.
I'm excited too, guys.
Yeah?
This is great. We were just talking. I'm really glad there wasn't video when I was doing this regularly. Probably looked terrible most days.
I don't know. I think your hair lends itself to, like, you don't have to do anything with it.
Correct.
So you always kind of maintain that Gaines appeal.
Yeah.
Right?
We didn't know if I showered in the morning or not because
True.
of my hair. You know.
I agree.
But he kept an authentic NBA jersey on him.
That's how it works. Gaines is newly married. We can talk about his life and all the things he's accomplished.
Well,
in just
actually,
a
Chris,
moment.
we're here because it's NBA trade deadline, and that's actually why we brought in Michael Gaines to discuss 14 hours of NBA talk.
I'll be heading out. The great.
See that 12-player trade the other night?
Man, you're missing so much cool NBA action right now. You just have no idea.
Chris, I think you would like how
I do
NBA
like
trades
that.
work.
Yeah.
Because teams just are like, yeah, I want that, and then another team's like, I'm going to give it to you, and then they basically have like 24 hours to figure out how it works.
I agree. I agree. I pay
there's like all
attention
these
from the
open
periphery.
spots.
I love too when the very obvious. They seriously like. Oh, you have a veteran who would make sense only on a team going to the finals for some leadership and defense once in a while. Yeah, I'll take him even though we're last in the league. Cut the next day, signs with whoever the hell he wants. Like,
Yep.
that's my favorite. Did they just trade? That kind of, not really, but sort of happened with Iguodala.
Yeah, well,
Like, he just sat out all year.
Iguodala just didn't work all year because he didn't want. Like,
And he's like,
play
Miami's
with
cool.
kids.
Right.
You
Yeah.
figured it out.
That's wild,
The
man.
ultimate Nigerian come up.
I'm down with that.
I
I'm
can say
also
that's Blackberry.
I'm also down with family members, like great aunt Chris Gardner. Oh, hey.
There he is. Look at the band's back together.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, look at this. It's like the Hangover in real life.
What are you doing?
Okay.
What are you
rude.
doing? I also need to say good morning to my walnuts.
We got walnuts, Gaines. We got walnuts. That's what we call them.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Stupid.
Yes.
Who came up with that?
no,
Gardner?
No,
It was
Fancy Foyer.
Fancy Foyer. Yes, I'm
Foyer.
sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
Fancy Foyer. Walnuts. I
It only
like
took the fans like 18 years to come up with a creative name for themselves.
And it killed the show as we know it.
We got T-shirts coming out in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Travis and
Oh,
Gardner
shit.
will not. We have to X them out since they've chose to move on to the doorman and personal
Hey,
professional
I wanted
writing
to
I'm
be-
industries.
researching.
I want it to be like Ryan. I want my business cards to show up next week.
Yeah. That'll,
Shit.
I
yeah.
have been researching doorman jobs.
So, real quick, so if you're not familiar, I'm sticking around. These two jokers are taking their goods elsewhere. The great Chris Gardner has decided to do a full-on, dead serious doorman job search.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm a doorman hopeful.
And what he's
Yeah.
done now everyone in the office is involved. So from time to time, we'll go through something online or maybe an email, and we'll be like, "Hey, Gardner, thought about looking here?" And we're doing our best to. We would love you on One Cardinal Way, if we're being honest. That would be just entertaining
Do you-
as hell.
do
Because
you
the
look-
stories alone, you as a doorman at One Cardinal Way. Like,
And
come
we could
on.
figure out who's actually renting those places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we?
I wonder if Mo would have a spot there, just so he could crash if he had to, if he's working late hours.
Is
I don't know.
is that why you
rent's
go,
too high for him?
Yeah. Right. He's like, oh, let's not.
For Michael Gaines shooting early.
How long is the lease?
That's true.
That commitment, I don't do.
Gonna opt out after 6 months.
Yeah,
Oh
so he's
my
not
God.
a fan of opt-outs.
Man,
Great
I don't
sketch.
know.
I
Great
found
sketch
that out.
idea.
It really is.
Mosaic on Tinder.
Negotiating.
Tinder with
Negotiation
free
lease.
agents, and he's like, "Ooh."
You could
I
negotiate
think
leases. That'd be
Mo
really good.
negotiating an apartment lease
That'd
or
be
a
good.
condo lease at One
Yeah.
Cardinal Way would be great. So we can make that.
I like that.
No, but I've been researching.
How's that going?
I've read some articles. I was focusing on Clayton yesterday. I read an article yesterday about how Amazon has changed the game for doormen,
Jesus.
and actually has made them even more viable now because they have to deal with all the packages coming in, and even not Amazon, but like food delivery services now the way they are.
See, here's the thing. You look great on paper. I would hire you to be a doorman. However, you have to win it in the interview. So are you prepared to, answer that stupid ass interview question? What has your previous experience allowed you to do to make certain decisions? In the
Will you
future?
play the game?
I always wing it.
Okay.
That's how I've always done it with
Want to try it now? Like one little test run?
Have you never not winged anything?
No.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I mean, I don't feel a need to prepare for interviews.
All right, let's try one. Let's try one quick question.
One thing I have thought about, like, and I don't know if I should bring it up or not, because, like, say if they ask about an accomplishment,
Oh, that's a good question.
but one thing I think, and I take pride in it,
Oh,
that
boy.
I've accomplished,
Oh, no.
could also be looked down upon.
Oh, no.
No, it's not bad. It's just, look, I'm 6.5 years sober. Like, do you
Oh,
bring
yeah.
something like that up? How
No.
would an employer view that?
I think an employer would view that
See?
bad. Yeah, they'd be like, oh, no.
It depends.
But I
It
look at that
depends
as
because
my greatest
Okay.
accomplishment.
What about the
right now.
highest rated afternoon drive show in the St. Louis market?
That's a good point.
Producer.
That's a good point. You were
Yeah.
that guy.
I was a
You
little
were
drunk
that.
then too.
Oh, boy.
See, I did it while drunk.
Oh, jeez. You can do that. Maybe that's the pitch. You should see what I can do intoxicated.
But I don't do it anymore. So then what? I don't know. It was something I was thinking about the other day. I'm like, I probably shouldn't. But when I look at accomplishments, that's something.
It's
that
also 2020. Maybe some employers would look at that.
Bernie,
it's
Bernie's
just
got a
why
lot of
take-
momentum.
Hey, maybe you could sue them after if they don't hire you.
I
Yeah.
did talk to some members of my dream team of attorneys because they were asking me what I wanted to do, and I said, "What if I just come up with if I just start suing people randomly and see what sticks, like
Some-
frivolous lawsuits,
Oh, yes.
and then one of them hits, and then
Oh,
hey,
boy.
all I need is one to hit per year."
Yeah.
Travis, I thought of you the other day
Oh boy.
when that black guy settled that lawsuit and then went to go cash the checks at the bank.
Yes, at the bank.
And the bank, then we're like, you don't have this much
You
money.
don't have this much money.
You're
He's like,
black.
Yes, the double
And then
whammy.
he sued the bank.
Yes.
Guys,
Like,
it's going to have generational wealth.
Based off
Why can't
racism.
that happen to me? Oh, the curse of being white.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, I get the microaggressions. I don't get the big
Yeah,
racism
you get the
moment. I get the small shit that doesn't equate to any money. This guy,
Yeah.
he just gets one. He gets back-to-back home runs in his first two plate appearances.
Can you imagine the look on his face when that bank teller was like that? They're like, "No, sir." He's like, "All right."
Oh, he had to be like, got him again. He said, "What is? Maybe it's the cologne I'm wearing. I don't know what it is, but shit,
I
this
won
is,
the
I am
lottery."
popping. I won it twice."
You don't want casual racism. You want someone to be like all in racism.
All
You want
in.
something like that
So you
comment
can
section we
kill
were
'em.
reading on our friend Purdy B's picture
Yeah,
yesterday.
I-
that was
I-
the most racist
I think-
Oh,
back
God.
and forth I've ever seen, and we've all never laughed so hard.
I think
To be
that's-
fair.
that's my problem with St. Louis. Go full racist.
Yes.
You up here trying to be cute. You got a little Mississippi in you. You got a little Bama in you. Let's go all the way. Stop doing this little petty shit. Oh, we're going to try to be diverse. No, you're not. Let's just go all the way. There's a reason why we have a huge divide. Let's build on that.
Build on our division.
Build. Oh, yeah, that would be my. I guess it's the mayoral campaigns coming up soon.
The what?
You know,
The
not,
mayoral?
Not this go round, but
Okay, because that would be mine.
Yeah,
Build on
I
the
did an
divide.
I did an event that had you been on time for, you would have been standing next to Lyda Cruson on stage. Would you have?
That is not
Would
true.
you have approached
I was
her?
told to be there at a particular time, and no, I would not have approached.
well, you
Lyda
didn't tell me
Cruson.
she was going to be there.
This
There's
is,
a reason
this
why he
is-
probably didn't tell you.
Yeah,
I
right.
think he did that.
I don't, want
would've
you,
been on
I don't want you
stage with
lurking.
her.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff.
know.
I would have lit up a cigarette.
Yeah,
right
we
next to
know
her.
that, and that's why we left that part out.
Persecuted smoker.
Yep.
How about this?
No, I wouldn't have. You're right. I would have been a coward. I'd have been like,
Hey, just like every interview.
"Oh, I love you. Oh, hey, I think you look great with your hair, Lyda. You look good."
He would have asked her how social media impacts comedy. That would have been weird.
How does social media impact
Son
being
of a
mayor?
bitch.
What?
What?
Who runs your social media account?
The great Tom Brown letting Travis know that Elmo no like that.
Mm-mm.
Whenever you were up there.
hey.
Also-
Ex-coworkers like that. How rude.
Yale Hollander's excited to see Gaines.
Yale.
Closest apartments in St. Louis have to doormen are security guards, or as they referred to in the apartment industry as courtesy officers.
Oh.
Would you
Courtesy
accept
Are they
a
really
courtesy
called
officer
courtesy
job?
Yeah.
officers? I
Did
didn't
you wear
know
the
that.
uniform?
Well, that's what a lot.
Oh, he
I mean,
wants the
Does he get a
uniform.
badge?
He
yeah,
wants the
I'd
uniform.
wear a uniform, but it's not. I mean, there's not just that. There's a blend. Like,
But the problem is when they want the out of shape 60-plus-year-old to appear, they put him in a faux cop's uniform.
you're buzzing people in now.
Yeah, but whenever the guy comes in with a shard of glass trying to get to the 4th floor, you don't want to have to step in for that.
No, but not all doormen now are wearing these uniforms.
That's
or
what I'm
whatever.
saying.
Yeah, it's not
now,
like that.
if they dress you up like you're like a weird flight officer, that's okay. You just can't look like the faux cop.
Yeah, if you look
well,
like
there's some that are probably like that.
That's
that's
what I'm
Are
saying.
you willing to wear the
Because-
faux cop?
I
Yeah,
want
that's
I want
fine.
you in
Really?
No, I want you in dress shoes and slacks.
Same.
Well, that's what
With
I would
maybe
prefer.
Right, but I
With the
don't
carte
need you.
blanche patch.
Thank
if you,
you.
But if you get a badge, you fucking better
No.
believe I'm starting an Instagram
No.
account to come up
Because-
to your job every day to take a picture.
Why
Right.
would you do that?
Because
Okay,
whenever there's a fight in the lobby, they're gonna go, "Do your job."
That's
You're
true.
not, you
That's
can't break up
true.
a fight.
You can't break up a fight.
How many fights you think are happening in condo
Just, we
lobbies?
never know. You
Enough.
seem to attract enough chaos.
You gonna
I
get
know
hired on?
that's not it. Do your research.
Are you getting hired on Wash Ave? Huh?
Oh, good point. Wash Ave, you have to break up some fights.
I walked past like 3 in
And
the lobby of my
probably
building.
gun-
while I was
There wouldn't
down
be
there.
any tenants though, which would be nice.
That's a good point. That's
Just
Gaines'
about-
dream. Gaines is like, wait a damn minute, maybe I'll doorman.
Just gonna look up for
Now,
the crossfire.
I would prefer just a normal garb, but if I had to go uniform, because some of the buildings employ security services as their front desk person or whatever like that, and I've looked into those ones as well.
Okay.
So I'm covering all bases. Would I prefer not to do that like that? Yeah. I would prefer just the more slacks, sport coat, dress shirt.
Evening, ma'am.
Dr. Ferguson, welcome back
Look
from
at
Belgium.
him. That's good.
Dr. Ferguson.
Good. I like that. All right,
You gotta have a joke too.
You do
Yeah.
have to have a joke.
Joke
Gotta have
of the
one
day.
on standby.
Ooh,
Maybe that's
what
what
kind of
Travis
jokes?
can do. Travis
Travis
can
You
be
be my joke
I can
doorman
be a
joke writer. You can put that on your resume.
Is it my turn now, Chris? Hi. Hey, ma'am. How you doing today?
Hey, how are you? I can't say the N word.
I can't say.
Travis set me
Yeah.
up.
Damn it, Travis.
Fucking Terrell.
Oh, where do you see yourself going, Travis?
Oh man, I tell
Places.
you what. All
Gaines, interview him like you're gonna hire him.
Oh yeah, Gaines, you're in the workforce. How you doing today, sir?
I talk first.
Say going well.
says
No.
here,
First of all, say, sir, the interview started 8 minutes ago.
Son of a bitch.
if you could be one animal, what could you be?
I would probably be a lion because my heart roars with pride.
Wow.
What are you, gay?
Says
Ask me that.
says here you were a freshman basketball coach. What was your record?
We went 10 and 14. We had a very young,
Losing record. Okay.
We had
That
Did
would
you,
be
you really
real-
go 10 and 14?
Yeah, my first year. It was not bad.
Not good.
I did see in the opening song and credits and everything, you guys found a picture of Travis playing sports.
Yeah, told ya.
Well, he wasn't really playing. He was
Told
just
ya.
on a knee holding the
Yeah.
basketball.
Oh, man.
There's no signal of anything happening.
The last time we heard he played, he was playing at the Jewish Community Center.
L'Haim. I was knocking him down.
Pulled down like 8 rebounds. he
Eight
said.
boards, 3 assists.
They'd never seen somebody jump that high.
Oh, here you go, Gardner. Tom letting you know that he used to work in an apartment building, and there was a full-on murder there yesterday.
No.
Oh,
So maybe Target's hiring.
well, actually.
Maybe you could move to Chicago. There's
Oh.
a doorman all
Yeah.
over
Okay,
the
for
now
place.
sure.
here's the deal. This is where
And
this
they wear the
dream
traditional
first
stuff.
occurred.
They do.
Is in
Is
Chicago.
there-
It was in Chicago when I was a little boy,
Oh God.
little Gardner boy.
What did,
'Cause the
what did
first-
the doorman do
Here,
to you?
The
Hang on.
first
This
job
is-
I wanted,
This is gonna go till
was-
8:57. Just settle in.
America's Cup team member. I wanted to be on the America's Cup.
Makes sense.
And then immediately switched to doorman when I went to visit my aunt and uncle who lived in Chicago, and we were walking, and I'm with my family, and all of a sudden I see this older gentleman with this white coat on, white hat, white gloves, red pants, next to like this nice car, and he's the doorman of this condo, and I had to go up to him. I was a very talkative kid, and I would just go up to anyone and start talking to them and asking them questions. And so I started asking him about his job, and he posed with me and took pictures. And after that is when I wanted to be a doorman. So this dream has been going on for a long time. I just didn't know it would take till I was 40 to maybe make it happen. But Chicago is where that occurred. So it's funny you say that because that's where this all began.
Okay.
I wanted to be the first NBA player who rode a horse to his games. Like, what the hell's wrong with your dreams, man?
Speaking of that, did you see the guy?
I want to be a space cowboy.
Did you see the guy on horseback yesterday at the Chiefs parade?
No.
I saw a driver.
chase.
I saw a car
that
chase.
that was interesting.
Why was the
Could
guy
you
on
imagine
horse?
if that happened in St. Louis? Everybody talking about
You
that.
would have, we
Freaking
would
out.
have, whoever was at the parade would have been like, then that's how I saw a man get shot in the head.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
How
that's-
many people would have known the guy?
Yeah. Oh, it's he's been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
What do you been from Arnold and just took a wrong turn?
I don't know. That's like a Carondelet Lime guy. I don't know. That's
The day of the Blues Parade, I was going to rob every bank in Arnold because I knew no one was going to be there.
What were you saying, Gaines? You were
I don't
coming
know.
with the
Oh,
guy on a horse.
There's
Sorry.
just a guy on a horse, like amongst the people, and then everybody was like flocking towards the horse. So people were standing
Did they spook it?
behind the horse
That
taking
doesn't-
pictures.
That doesn't.
Like you idiots.
No,
Even I know
They
that.
got so lucky.
They-
I mean, they got
Jesus.
so lucky.
That's they can't. Like what they do. Like
Yes.
that's their defense mechanism.
Yes.
They're like, yeah, coyote coming up.
By the
Yeah.
way, I don't know if we've come up with who that suspect was in that car chase, but can we go ahead and assume that it was probably Brett Hall?
Fair point.
I'm here.
Hey, they told me to park around back.
Well, that's a DUI.
I just wanted it to be like it's got to be a St. Louis. It was a
I
DUI
do want to
waiting
know.
happen.
I do want to know. Like, okay, I love it that you love your horse, and I love it that you have still ride horses. Who are these people that they exist? Obviously, that feel the need to bring their 1,000-pound kicking machine into large crowds and events. Like, what?
It's wild.
Is it
Do you want to play our favorite game of Guess That Race?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Oh, since you asked, there's a black dude.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's a black dude.
that's
Is it
hilarious.
Lil Nas X?
Wow.
He was smoking a joint as he stood on the horse.
Shut up.
Yes.
You know what?
Okay.
This is an amazing video.
All right.
Okay, he may be.
We need to see this.
Yes.
We'll
Sure,
play
he's not
it.
a
Yeah.
Gates or
Yeah.
he's someone renowned in Kansas
has
City.
to be.
It's
He
so-
has to
well,
be.
I get, yeah, he's Lil Nas
Who
X's
gets
uncle.
to do
Yeah,
that?
see, but I'm saying somebody of great honor and respect just on a horse in the middle of a parade full of white people smoking a blunt. You sir must have money.
No one just gets to do that, do they?
No, it was.
Do you think it was a bet he lost and they like mad libbed his punishment?
No,
They're
he-
like joint. You got to find a horse and Super Bowl parade. All right, sorry, you got to pay up.
I don't know. Like
That's amazing.
black
Grace.
people in Kansas City are very. They don't like. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
They really are just like, look, we gonna do it. Y'all gonna arrest us or not?
I don't see you down here on the Paseo.
Yes.
Y'all gonna do it or not? If not, shut up and leave me to my blunt and horse.
Did you say Paseo?
Oh, it does look like he got arrested.
Oh
Yeah.
damn.
The
too
first
bad.
story.
Did
KCPD says 5 taken into custody during Chiefs parade, including 2 from Chase and 1 on a horse.
One on a horse.
The horse, as the horse was being arrested, it said nay. What do you say? Yeah, the Paseo is a parkway there that
Yep. Oh,
is
yeah.
definitely more, I guess, Afro-American centric.
It
in
is.
that
Right by
population.
Rockhurst, where my wife went to school.
KC Paseo was the first team to play Vashon in their new gym when they opened it up. I was at that game. I think I was one of only 3 white people in that gym.
Speaking of Ashawn, can we just talk about how amazing it is that Floyd Irons' kid coaches the team now?
It's one of the
I
best.
actually didn't know that.
It's
That's really
it's
funny.
one of the like.
And
I
he
wanna-
goes to the home games, and when he stands up and walks to his seat, they like give him a standing ovation.
I want a 30 for 30 in the worst way.
I think it'd be. I think there's definitely a spot for like an STL
There's no
documentary.
doubt.
From the-
There's no
like,
doubt about
from
it.
the players that I
I
know
covered
that-
his sentencing.
Yeah, if you could do it.
I was in the courthouse for his
If
sentencing.
I
That's
had
amazing.
the means to cover that whole gambit and get the interviews and talk to everyone, that would be a worthwhile venture
'Cause
that I think
that's-
a lot of people here would
That was
love.
the one where I got to do the my favorite thing about when all the scandals happen, especially when they involve the law and you get to go to the courthouse,
And you get to
is what
yell random questions.
afterwards when you know they're not going to answer any questions and they're scurrying away from the courthouse and everyone's got their mics out. You just get to yell whatever question you want. That's my favorite part. And I was part of that for Floyd Irons, except he had an entourage with him, and one guy just shoved me into like a planter into a tree. And I went backwards into a thing as they were getting him into the SUV, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
There's got to be video on
Oh, you would think
an old
somebody's-
archived like
yeah.
Channel 5 story of Gardner
Yeah.
just flying into a bush.
I just got
Oh
shoved
my
in.
God. That's amazing.
They were just trying to get like, get out of the way. They were yelling at us and everything. And people, I'm not yelling any questions. I just got the recorder out, just holding it while the news people were yelling the questions. And I'm just, what the hell did I do? I'm just kind of walking along with you, man.
The stories I heard from the players from the late 90s, early 2000s that graduated from there, like, I mean, you're talking, you could have a 3-part episode and it would probably, if they were honest about all the stuff, I mean, you're talking, this is a win some kind of giant
Yeah,
award, man.
like
I'm talking
sports fans
teachers with
everywhere-
students.
Sports fans everywhere would love that too. Like if the
Yeah.
right
Oh,
platform
absolutely.
picked that up.
Absolutely.
Like,
And show
Talk
it.
about divisive.
Because they're
And
trying.
they were the precipice of they were at the precipice of the shoe brands controlling major AAU teams. Like
And
that's
I
why
was-
Game Face started.
And I
that's-
was rooting for them all the time.
well, yeah,
Especially, I'm sorry,
that's-
Gaines, I know.
No,
but
that's right.
against the private schools.
but
in
that's the part of the
particular.
story
Right.
that's amazing is
Right.
how many private schools St. Louis has that played these guys and got killed by them, and that all the people are they're doing something. They're doing.
Well, they
something.
were.
We're recruiting.
That's what I
and-
mean.
Yeah.
But,
But
like
you're a
the
private
private
school.
schools do. Oh,
Private schools do,
Like
too.
it's
Far be it from me to insert myself into it, but I will never forget. Had we won our sectional against CBC, it would have been Farmington Vashon at UMSL in 2000 for quarterfinals. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
I can.
'Cause I assume your whole town would be coming to this game.
Yeah, I mean it would. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it would-
Where would
This
it
is
have
the
been
this
played?
is the town. This is the town.
Where would it have been played?
UMSL?
Oh shit!
That's seared into my memory always. And I just
That's like
remember that.
that's like thwarting an Al Qaeda attack like day before the 4th of July. You're just like,
I mean,
man,
you
that
farm-
could've
you
been
farm boys
bad.
Farm
I'm
boys
sure-
might want to stay home.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sure
like, "Oh, that was gonna
Farmington
be
people
bad."
were like CBC's a little bit of the city school. And
We,
then when
this
we
is before
played
the internet
Vashon-
was really anything. We were like Christian Brothers College, these freaking preppy ass little bitches. We're gonna kick their ass.
Get there, like
they show up
6
tomorrow.
Negroes,
Macklin
6'7",
walks in.
yeah.
Well, like I saw.
And I
the-
think so. Yeah, I think there were like a couple thousand people at that game. So I think it would have been.
Well, I can imagine because, and I
That
mentioned
would've
it
been on
before.
CNN.
I was at the, I was at the game when Vashon played Poplar Bluff in the state championship game, and there was a visual,
a very-
visual racial divide.
And Papa Bluff
And
has black students and players.
Yeah,
too.
but
not like
they also have gentlemen with mustaches that are fans or fathers that are yelling words they should not be yelling right
Yeah.
behind me. And I
How dare
actually,
you talk
I
about the
was
Hansbrough family
considering
like that.
just, I was
just
considering
thinking
just
that.
leaving because I'm like,
It's
I
scary.
don't know if I want to be here.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw a
uncomfortable
game
as
like
hell.
that where it was New Madrid versus Borussia. You're just like, I don't know that this. Maybe we should play it without
Yeah,
fans.
these are like people I don't even want to be at. Like,
Right.
oh my god.
Oh, I mean, most of them don't even know anybody on each of the teams.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's creepy.
Great point.
But
Yeah,
that happens
weird
all the
about it,
time
yeah.
at these
That's
games.
weird.
Yeah.
And then I was afraid to turn around at one point because at times I'm like, what the hell did I just hear? And I'm looking back and I'm like,
Oh boy.
I don't want to be around
Oh,
these people
boy.
or deal with them at all. I'm like, I might just need to walk out of here.
Oh, that's so funny to think
I do have
about.
that video, by the way.
Gaines goes, CNN would have had to be there.
Oh,
It would- I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Gardner, that's a good point. We are the town that. One other thing I'll never forget about my high school years. Our wrestling team sent so many Division I guys, and they were nationally ranked, and they won state as a team 3 years in a row. Back page of the paper every year. We win our district. Yeah, the basketball team, freaking out.
How
So
those
there would have
wrestlers
been-
didn't kick your ass.
Oh, they should have. Oh, ho hum, we win state again.
Yeah.
These idiots barely win their district. Ugh.
I have that video, I believe, of the gentleman at the Chiefs Super Bowl parade.
okay.
I guess he
Please
was
show me this.
horse surfing, is what they were calling it.
Of course, like leave it up to black people to make everything way cooler.
So there he is.
That's on a
right there.
horse?
Yeah, apparently he's on a horse.
Listen,
He's got a joint,
listen.
and he's up there just dancing around.
Okay. Who ain't
That ain't
hurt? He
bad.
ain't hurt nobody.
The horse is like, hey, bro.
That's a lot of people
That's my
around a
spine.
horse, though.
It's why I don't understand.
This horse must
behind
have been on
it,
heroin.
too.
But there's a lot of drunk people in general. They're gonna surround anything at this point.
Yeah, but they also could have died.
Yeah.
That is also true.
Yeah, I don't know.
But football, head injuries, maybe they thought they'd be part of the team.
That is,
It's so real.
that horse had to been drugged up or something. Like that's not.
I don't know.
gonna
Sometimes you
trust
could
you on
domesticate an animal for so long.
And then he's just like, just give me my grain.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Like, man, just let me hit that.
I don't have a
blunt
great
from time to time.
perspective here,
That
so I'm going to
blunt.
trust Chris's opinion.
Oh my God!
Chris does.
Finally, I can.
Chris, this is
I
your
can,
lane.
I can speak on
This is
something.
this is your lane.
Hey, fellas, don't bring 1,000-pound animals in the Super Bowl parades and dance on them while people stand within kicking
I'm
range.
going with that guy.
Yeah.
It was truly a Black History Month miracle, if you will.
Blackaby?
Because of Blackaby, Travis Kelce. Now, I know Travis Kelce has more swag than the average white man. He has a fine-ass sister of a girlfriend. And the sisters...
Did you know this until they won? I
No, I
did
knew
not know
this. I knew
did
this.
not
Yeah,
know this.
because Black women Twitter specifically, loves them some Travis Kelce.
Yes.
Hate white anything any day of the week. Travis Kelce, however, will always and forever
Real
be their
quick,
exception.
You are aware, like all black people don't hate white people, right? You've made our audience think for 4 years that it's just a full-on Black Panther rally every
Who
time
would-
you walk around.
Yeah, it's
That we're not
it's-
there.
No, we're not. We don't hate you guys.
When I produce the podcasts that are all black here, they always look over at me if they start saying something about Trump. Or like check in on something like, "What? No! No!
Well, you're from
amazing.
Farmington.
Going for that? I don't know. Let's see.
I got a
You do have the
Chris,
Richard
I'm-
Spencer haircut.
I got a Chris, I'm sorry. I hate white people. That was like,
Chris,
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
care. It's fine.
Chris, like, I'm so
You
sorry.
don't bother me.
Who would
Yeah.
you root for in Family Feud? Travis Kelce and his family, or the black family with MAGA hats?
Travis Kelce and his family?
Okay. I was curious.
All right, so Black Twitter loves Travis Kelce.
No, and so I knew he was like, oh, he's got a little bit more sauce. Haven't heard him actually speak like Travis Kelce, and he spoke yesterday.
Oh, he doesn't.
Code
Yeah.
switch.
He
That-
does. But it
It's-
wasn't incredibly blatant, but it was fairly noticeable.
It was. I noticed. Okay, I thought I was going crazy.
No,
Is he drunk?
He was.
Probably, yeah, definitely.
But he does. He did not sound like that in his interviews.
No,
this
he
season.
did not.
It
He
was.
didn't.
It was a little.
It was pretty noticeable. I'm
I-
not hating. Look, do you whatever you.
No,
if that's-
hate.
Okay, because it was like
It was a little weird.
I
Right?
was just like, it caught me up because he was yelling and he was excited and he was doing this huge like WWE style
Well, give me an
type of speech.
impersonation of Travis
He was like,
Kelce.
it was basically like, yo, we out here, we got turned up.
Yes.
My man Andy Reid was getting turned up, and we was like, oh, huh.
it was.
That's not the Travis Kelce. Like, man, look, I'm just happy for my guy Pat
He's just
Mahomes.
keeping it
It was a
100.
Black Twitter heat check.
Yeah,
because like I have
yeah,
like a
yes.
hall pass to Black Twitter.
Yes,
like I'm in it
yes.
sometimes.
Okay, Gaines is there. He's often out like, hey, Gaines.
So I've seen the love Travis Kelce's been getting on Black Twitter the
Yeah.
past week. He's probably seen it. Then
And then
he
he
got.
probably
He was
feeling
like, "Oh, I
himself.
can
can walk
heat
around
check."
and- yeah, it was a heat check. Good call.
It was a Black Twitter heat
How did
check.
they
It was.
respond?
I didn't see a ton of negative things. I don't even know if anybody else called it out, but I absolutely noticed it, and I was like, okay, wait, I've been around this before. I see what's happening here. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
I mean,
I-
that's what
I
happens. When he
learned-
gets drunk, that's what he does. He code switches.
I'm curious though.
I don't know.
I'm curious where because his brother Jason Kelsey
It's
is
almost the opposite.
not like
Not
this
at all.
So I am very
Yeah.
curious of their upbringing.
Me too.
And when the road kind of separated.
Well, and just because, you
He
said
went
his,
to a TLC concert.
That's what I-
Yeah. That's what I No, I don't feel like going out tonight, bro. You and the
like
friends go
Jason,
like, all right.
Jason Kelsey was always hanging out with white O linemen, and Travis Kelsey was
That
hanging out with
over
wide
receivers.
receivers
That's
and running
the point.
backs. Like it had
That
like
makes sense. Yes. Now it makes sense.
yeah, there it is.
With
Basically-
the TLC concert. T-Boz is amazing.
Yes.
How did this happen?
And it just switched.
Basically, my position grouping.
Whenever tight end switched to more of a receiving role.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
When they went away from being an extended tackle.
Yeah. The evolution of the NFL really
You know what?
defined me
That
as a
does
person,
make
though.
sense
I
because you
think
look at
that's
guys
what
like a Vince Wilfork, right? He's a very country boy, like more of a
Mississippi guy or
rural,
something,
yeah,
yeah.
and that makes sense when you're about a country-fed white boys playing the position. So that does kind of make sense. That's interesting now. That is really oddly fascinating. Now I want to delve into this more.
Yeah, it's why all the
That's-
it's why all the
wow.
coaches are white, because all the quarterbacks are white.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
That's
Okay.
changing.
Now
But
this
that's
shit makes
changing.
sense.
But that's changing.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm sure the hiring will change.
Now, can you guys educate me
last
on
one.
this? I've never heard any sound or anything, but people are going in hard on Jackson Mahomes. Is
Yes.
okay? What's
happened?
what's
So Jackson Mahomes is
Get-
Pat Mahomes' little brother.
Okay.
Okay.
Openly gay.
Okay, that's why I caught a hint of that, and I didn't hear any audio, but like people were kind of using him to make fun of.
He's like a
Other people.
TikTok star. Like he's a
Got
legitimate
it.
TikTok
Oh
star.
wow! I didn't know any of this.
And
I mean, he's probably a giant dude.
huge and
Yeah.
like really athletic. There's like his high school basketball tape is awesome.
And this
Yeah.
is his brother.
Little brother, Jackson.
How old is he?
I did.
20.
Yeah, yeah. He might even be a
So,
little younger than that.
Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP, has a younger brother that's ripped, athletic, and gay, and
Not
a TikTok
ripped,
star.
But he's a TikTok star.
And he's a TikTok
little
star.
doughy
okay.
actually.
Okay.
Not like
But he's
not
athletic.
like unathletic doughy,
Oh,
but
Pat
just,
Mahomes isn't jacked. He's
Okay.
just big.
Yeah.
And he's a TikTok star, loves to dance. You'll see TikToks of him like on the sidelines before the game.
Okay, that's
the-
got a cool.
Like I'm learning TikTok. It's
Yeah.
kind
It's a
of
weird place.
it's the first time I felt old in my life.
Jackson
Yeah.
Mahomes looks like I just pulled up a picture. He's like 6'5".
He's
Pat's,
way taller
Pat's
than
6'3".
Mahomes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like 6'5", 6'6".
But he does all these like dancing on the sidelines, and
That's
people are
hilarious.
making fun of it online. But he's also like taking it very much in stride.
Of course.
And now there's like a sector of people who are his fans
Right.
now, and like, okay, this is actually hilarious and amazing.
Okay. Oh, okay. This is funny.
I mean, he
this
might
is really
be 6'6".
cool.
Yeah.
He's a
That
big
kid looks,
guy.
yeah,
There's
good guy.
There's,
He's
yeah,
amazing,
there's
yeah.
highlights of him like just dunking on people in high school basketball.
That's
yeah.
I like the Pat Mahomes stories even more now.
Yeah.
This
You
is
just
really
gotta
cool.
Get rid of the girlfriend.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Now, what's
that's-
her deal?
No, she fine. She just you remember when
Is
Russell
she the
Wilson?
little
You
blonde
remember
one?
Russell Wilson's first?
That's
Chick-
that's what that's how I
You
compared
remember
it
Russell
to.
Wilson had a valley white girl like hey, and it was like oh okay, he got him one, but she was very Kelly Kapowski, and Russell Wilson got that Super Bowl swag, and divorce papers in the mail. You look up, he's dating Sierra, former R&B superstar.
Now there's no ring here with Mahomes. I think that's an important.
That's what I'm saying. Now he
Yeah,
done
let's
got
not
the-
forget he's 24.
Yeah.
Why are
And
you
so,
trying to
but
ruin a girl's life?
I'm not trying to ruin her life. I'm just saying, baby
but
girl.
she's so here's I have a problem with this.
boy.
She is so she wants to film everything at the games of her like screaming. She's what we call a woo girl, honestly.
woo
like
girl.
she's just screaming, yelling in the box. Then people online are like making jokes about Pat Mahomes' girlfriend. Then the sports media people go, "Oh, leave her out of it." She's bringing it to us.
Yeah, she's got a-
You
got
can't
a
be
point.
that online
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then get mad at people who are. Then
It's not seeking her out because she's homely like we did with Chris Bryant.
Yeah, that was pretty rude. That was
sad.
probably the
That's true.
rudest
That's
thing we've ever
horrible.
done
That
on
is
this
very
show.
horrible.
There is no doubt that we will pay the
We should be
price for
celebrating
being
him.
asses on that day.
Well,
Terrible
Chris-
radio.
Number one, Chris Bryant's overrated too. He's all eyelashes.
He wasn't talking about his ball play.
All eyelashes.
He's kind of beautiful.
No, I've seen him up close.
But he's tall.
Oh,
In St.
Gardner-
That's the
Louis,
thing.
that's all.
Gardner's seen him up close.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you know, I had a press pass.
No, I stared him up and down.
And it
Got
wasn't, didn't
awkward
do
in the
anything for you.
clubhouse.
Okay, well, I bet he
I was
did.
like, "What's this all
I will
about?"
say, for a
No.
baseball player, that butt's not doing much.
No,
Jesus
he's
Christ.
not.
You sound like you're from Manchester, Missouri, and just had
Those
4 glasses
ladies
of
right
Chardonnay.
behind, right behind in the green seats, ain't paying a lick of attention to the
I,
damn
would,
game.
I wouldn't with him.
Yeah, you would. Shut up.
I would. I'm just saying that butt's not doing a
No,
lot.
he's got to have more than eyelashes for me.
You know what I would do, Gardner? About 6 o'clock tonight, I'd mosey right here to 3224 Locust, and I'd hit up Sophie's
Oh, look
for
at that.
Happiest
Look at
Hour. That's
that.
right. Another great show planned. We got 4 comics for you. Our friends at Mighty Cricket are the featured business partner. Our buddies over at Young Professionals Gateway Pet Guardians. Gaines, if you're looking for a dog, they're going to have one at the comedy show tonight.
got
You
two
could be just like my mom and adopt one of the dogs.
Did she?
She did.
Oh, JP.
Very cool.
JPD.
Happiest Hour tonight. Stop by. You know our friends at Jack Daniels present it. That's right. They've got specials starting at 4 o'clock. Get off work. It's not snowing. It's not a big deal. The weather's fine. And Schlafly specials as well. Stop by. Happiest Hour tonight, as we do each and every Thursday right here in Grand Center. Gaines, knock it off.
to figure
I pointed the wrong way.
Which direction it's
the wrong way.
Camera throwing your ass off.
Like, wait.
Instead of looking at the camera, all you had to do was just.
It's tough, you know.
It's like something you just get used to.
It's fun.
Hey guys, like R. Kelly and O.J. Simpson.
This happens sometimes.
No,
Hold
you
on, I
gotta
gotta do
do your normal trick. We've noticed
I gotta
Travis
tick. I
has
gotta
a
tick a
yeah,
pose.
he's
Yes,
got to
so.
tell with a transition. Do it.
Like R. Kelly and O.J. Simpson.
Okay.
Donald Trump was found
Son
not
of a
guilty.
bitch. And instead of doing it with like 4 minutes left in an hour, he'll do it where there's 17 minutes left in an hour.
Proper ranting, yelling,
Mm-hmm.
sky is falling time.
Why you need?
Trump acquitted. GOP-led Senate finds the president. I can't read that. Clears president of both counts. It was one Republican who joined.
Careful.
Oh, yeah, that's not number one.
Okay, when did that happen? That is now going to be an image on Twitter.
There was one Republican. I don't know, for those who are at home who are watching this can see below the Washington Post picture of Donald Trump. Was that Mittens Romney of Utah?
What a finesse by him.
What a finesse, what a Euro step, if you will, by Mitt Romney. Seeing that his vote wouldn't have mattered anyway, he decided to show the courage, and I put that in quotation marks, of supporting the Dems in finding the president guilty. But Donald Trump had more Republican votes, and that was all he needed to win the day.
You okay, Trav?
Yeah, I think all Dems knew when this process started, this is where it was going to ultimately end up. I think the win they wanted more than anything was to perhaps get Bolton to testify. If anything, just to continue to just make the case just how corrupt this president was during this process. But they didn't get that. They didn't get the witnesses in. It was a long shot from the beginning. Mitch McConnell had this played out probably soon after the midterms. Probably knew that this was going to have to be the card that they were going to have to play. And yeah, I think personally our country is less safer because of it. And this is hold on to your butts the next 10 months.
God bless Trumpy Bear.
I have a question for the three of you, since you're older gentlemen than I. I felt like when I hear stories about the Clinton impeachment, like America was glued to coverage for that.
Yeah.
Being like 2020, there's so much in our face all
Right.
the time, yada yada. Like, did you notice a difference between those impeachments?
There's a different way it's covered
Covered.
now.
Absolutely.
Because and I'm one that does it. I'll go if I'm missing something, I can just go to Twitter.
Go to
and
Twitter,
catch
yeah.
up.
You just search
and
it,
catch
scroll
up.
real quick,
Right.
yeah.
So I mean that's convenient
Right.
to where I don't have to feel as though I'm glued to the television to watch something like that. Now I'll also say this too, and I've mentioned it before. That was only several years after what I say is basically the advent of our pop culture, which was the O.J. Simpson trial.
I agree.
Because of the people, the characters involved, and what that has led to now, where we currently are.
All right.
Don't need to dive into all that, but that only happened several years before, so that type of coverage was newer to us as well, and so we weren't bored with it or anything
Yeah.
as of yet.
Right.
It was still new. It might have even started a little bit before that in terms of that coverage with the Iraq War, where we actually watched a war live on television.
Right.
So we weren't necessarily bored with everything yet. And then we knew we had to go there to
To
get
get
that
the- yeah.
information, where now we have a variety of ways we can get it from a TikTok star if we
I-
wanted to.
But I'm also even more curious now because I get Gaines' point. I wonder how much modern media would have played a role during Watergate. You know, I wonder would we have had different results had Watergate taken place in a modern media that we enjoy today.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean,
so yeah, so
Yeah,
I
like people sharing like fake memes
Exactly.
online
Yes,
that
exactly.
Nixon is innocent and
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that.
So that's what I just and I think there's a lot about what took place over the last I guess you could say 6 months.
Doctored tapes.
Dr. Tape, you just see this.
It's just like-
And Nixon would have
Listen to the
leaned
tape.
right
this is the
into it.
actual recording.
Yes.
listen to the tapes.
And yeah, it's
Now I want to go back and revisit that and see what the meme would have been that
Yeah.
came out of that. Like, what's the one that and the GIF that would have come out of it?
GIF.
Yeah,
I
agree
like
to
that.
disagree.
I like that. Retweeting history.
Yeah,
write
Let-
that down.
let-
That's gonna be an idea.
Come up like we got
Write it
run
down.
out of
A
time.
week.
Travis.
Unless you guys are going to launch a new pod. I think you guys should do a one-on-one where you guys just scream about the state of politics podcast.
That's scream about the state. That's a good name for it too.
Scream about the state of politics.
Scream about the state of politics.
I'm not angry. I think I'm just, and I'm not like, oh well, I'm not.
Remember what I used to always say? Nothing matters.
Yeah,
Boy, is that true.
yeah, and I think that's,
And
and
what
that.
do I say? Nothing matters.
Nothing matters.
You're right. King.
Everything's just fixed and it's whatever, you know.
And it's hard. I think you have the same thought process of a lot of people.
That's what sucks. I agree with that. It does kind of suck.
And the old heads, if you will, like me, who was like, oh man, the law is the law, and
Yeah.
it should work this way, and
As
if
long
you
as it
have
suits
enough
my
evidence
mood
and
at the
facts,
moment.
and well, yeah, you want to believe, you truly do, and I think a lot of people think that minorities, especially black people, go into it thinking that, you know, we're completely cynical. There's a part of us that wants to believe the truth, but then we're shown what we've seen over the last 6 months with this impeachment situation is that no matter whether it's facts or evidence from people who are not of the party that's making the accusation, it still doesn't matter at the end of the day, and that's kind of disconcerting.
Yeah.
That's hard
And,
to tell. And how do you tell young people? They'll be like, be involved. It was like, for what?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's like it doesn't matter because like there's a bunch of cool things going around St. Louis right now,
Right.
and it's all gonna pop when the MLS stadium opens, and all the civic leaders are gonna take credit for the
Very
and the
much.
MLS ownership group.
Oh,
are gonna be
God,
like,
yes.
oh, soccer spurned all this growth in St. Louis. Watch it. It's gonna happen in
No,
2
there's
years.
no doubt.
See,
Danny
and
Mac's gonna do like interviews with people, being like, "Oh, this is great. Look at these guys are bringing so much to the city of St.
And that's-
Louis."
here-
Cortex, you know, they brought that here.
Here that- here's-
IKEA's like,
here's
this
why
was
that-
our fucking doing.
That's why that'll bother me is because like MLS is just a small piece in all of that.
Like the
Such
smallest.
A, the, easily.
Like, and there are so
I'd say
many
the
more
aquarium's
important
a big
things
deal.
that have already like Cortex itself.
It's huge.
100%.
What that has, I mean, they're building residences now. They're
But
building another hotel.
the
Yeah,
owner, they're gonna
and-
spin that
well,
into.
and then they need to be called out for that because like when people say, "Oh, MLS is coming now," St. Louis can have this rejuvenate. Where the fuck have you been?
Honestly, where have you been?
What have you been paying attention to?
Try
Maybe
it.
get your head out of, and I'll say, just
It's
stop
so-
paying attention to just sports with it and look at the damn city itself.
That's what-
And then maybe you would start to understand some of the other issues people have within the city as well, particularly on the north side. You would start to see why there's frustration
100%.
there, and you would actually understand the city.
People were like calling me anti-MLS on Twitter as I was talking about that, and I just because I knew it, I knew what the game was, I knew what was going to happen because I've been paying attention to what's been going on in St. Louis
Yes.
the past decade.
Yes.
And then I knew right when it was going to pop that the MLS stadium was going to open, and people were going to point to that, especially people in the county, and it's the most
And MLS
frustrating thing ever.
And I'll say this, Travis, because you love using the phrase "game changer," right?
Yes, I do.
Everything's a
Very
game changer.
much, very
MLS is not a game changer.
No,
It's not a game. Like look at the Grove.
Yes.
Like the drive now from my neighborhood to the Hill is completely different than it was a decade ago.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Like all that stuff is not happening because of MLS.
Right.
MLS can be fun. I
Yeah.
want to enjoy it. It'll be entertaining.
Same.
And but
I hate that people make me want to hate it
yeah.
because of the way they treat it
Right.
But,
and
you're-
talk
but
about
it's not
it.
this, crown jewel that's going to change things. Like, it shouldn't, because if that's the case, then we have more issues than I thought to
Correct.
begin with. So, I mean, I want to enjoy it, and I should enjoy it. And it's going to really, I mean, it locks in the central corridor as being developed with when the foundry is completed as well. From the river to Skinker, to the edge of the city limits, and that central corridor is locked in with development. And that's great. Now, how can you branch off that?
Right.
That should be your next question. But it's not, that's like the final piece.
Exactly.
That's not the ultimate.
Right.
Like they have a building I've mentioned before on the show that's going up in my neighborhood, the 100 building. That's to me the most significant piece of architecture since the arch in the city limits. Like I find that stuff more. That's housing,
Right.
even though it's expensive and only certain people are going to be able to get to. They're still going to have to pay, and yeah, they get TIF and rebates and all this stuff. But that's housing. That's more important. So that's just I don't understand when that approach is taken, and so let's be prepared to call people out when that does occur, because it will. And I just want to be ready for it.
Yes, I'm so ready for it. I've
This'll be
been
good.
seeing this the past 3 years, 4 years.
How are people going to handle it when Gaines and I tag team them on Twitter, like on social media?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Like they have
for
no,
being honest.
they have no defense then.
It's
No.
something I'm afraid of.
I mean, you've seen what I've done to Cusimano.
Oh, boy. Poor
Unblocked.
I know.
Still?
Still, as far as I know, yeah.
Will you change your social media handles to like the Doorman?
Depends on if I get the job.
Doorman.
Can I almost pick
Tell
the
you what,
day?
That's what I want my nickname to be.
I'm not even being mean.
That sounds like a
Dan-
hitman, doesn't it?
Dan Buffa has more creative jobs or reporting jobs than most people, and he's goes by Uber driver. He's like he does that. People attach themselves. So you and Dan could be the Uber driver
and the doorman.
and the doorman.
You'll open his car door for the passengers to
Ooh.
get out.
That is true. Yeah.
Maybe my ultimate goal should be to be a concierge.
You'd
Is
be a
that better
good-
than a doorman?
Well, it'd just be fun
would
giving people
he give-
suggestions on restaurants.
Yeah, but I know.
and-
Would you give good suggestions though?
Well,
Oh, Gaines. We have a tumescence meter when he starts talking about food. You think his alcohol addiction was bad. His food descriptions and addiction.
I just worry about where he takes some of these people.
Oh, you'll really
That's fair.
enjoy the
I'd have-
smoky cigarette. Yeah.
I'd have to read the audience.
I worry about that too a little bit.
You should. And I didn't say I should be. I think I said should I be? Can I be?
Sending people from the county to like Daddy's Money up on that bar north of the industrial area.
What's
your
a good
your
place-
aunt and uncle are from Farmington or in town. He sends them to Just John's.
Exactly.
Hey. Well, if is it hibernation?
Yeah.
Oh no, that would be
JJ's Club.
JJ's. Yeah, Just John's got a great patio though.
My favorite bar in St. Louis.
The patio there is gigantic and nice, especially in spring and summertime. Play bags there on Sunday.
Bet you do.
I've never played. I've been invited to play though. Apparently they have gentlemen that come in
All right.
ball gags and leather pants and that for all that.
I'm trying to figure out which sponsor wouldn't matter if they heard you talk about this. in the name right
Finish
after.
your sentence.
We'll just go ahead and say, come out at 8:30 tonight. Second
Uh-oh.
comedy show.
Sorry, I hit a button.
It's
I hit Gateway Powder.
Gateway
Coating,
Powder
actually.
Coating. They're great guys. They've been with us for a while. Support them. GatewayPowderCoat.com for more information. Quick, get it off the screen. We'll
You
take a
can,
quick break.
Powder coat your ball gag.
Okay, we're live from Midcoast Studio, and I hate Gardner. Goodbye. Back in a minute. Welcome back to the show, Chris Dim and Travis Stroll. Michael Gaines. And
I'm
Chris
here.
Gardner.
Mikey Gaines in the
That's
building.
right. Hour 2 for you today.
How is Mama Gaines, by the way?
Oh,
She's
take it
great.
easy.
She's doing well.
She's great.
She was cutting a rug at the Gaines wedding.
Yeah.
Gaines'
Oh, man.
wedding, the event of the season.
Boy, was it? Wow. How does it feel? I mean, I know you say you're the best at everything,
This
and
is true.
you always deliver and all that stuff. But how does it feel delivering on a classic good time wedding?
It was great. We've got nothing but rave reviews of the night.
If anybody,
Travis, my groomsman gift was all LeBron's.
What?
oh yeah,
Oh, that's
they were
boss.
rocking them.
Oh,
Wait,
that
I have
was
a
boss.
funny Travis story about my wedding.
Oh no.
So obviously,
Oh, I do too.
obviously Travis didn't send the invitation back. I mean, we all knew that. I knew it when I sent it to him. But I texted him, was like, "Hey, no big deal. Like, are you coming?" He's like, "I'll be at the ceremony. I just won't be at the reception." The funniest lie I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I laughed when I got the
Yeah,
response.
that's pretty good.
I'll be at the reception. I'll be at the
Can I
ceremony.
In my defense, can I tell you what
no,
happened?
no. I want to hear it. Yeah.
I completely forgot the date.
Okay. And I knew that.
I mean, it's pretty fair.
Well, that's your defense, and that's legit.
Oh, it's legit, Gardner. Okay.
You missed out. It was a hell of a time.
I forgot the date.
Sorry.
I thought it was in February.
Because of Black History. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
I
why I
would've
thought, I was like, oh, my
respected-
boy Gaines gonna clearly.
That's fair.
First week
Actually,
of
I
February.
don't
it's
know
gonna be
that you forgot the date.
He did.
I did.
He brought it up
No,
like
because
the Friday.
you brought it up a couple weeks before the.
Yeah.
No, and I said, I was like, oh, I gotta get ready for Gaines' wedding,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize it was that week. Again, look,
No.
I find out we have jobs at live shows 24 hours before I actually need to show up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Chris can vouch for me on that.
I'm gonna have a seizure.
I'm gonna see.
The Bagnillion win the Bagnillion ball. Oh, it's tonight.
Batman
I'll be
ball,
there.
as you called it.
Batman ball.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I got nothing. I'm just.
Okay.
Now-
So Gaines' reception was an all-timer. They
Where
were out
was
there
it?
Cutting,
Rose of the Hill.
Damn baller.
Right by
Damn
Favazza's?
baller.
Yep, Favazza owns Rose of the Hill. It was a Hill weekend. Yeah, every event was.
Spice
yeah.
and meet the baller.
Exactly, exactly.
See, I was timing
My
for it.
grandparents love Favazza's,
I'm sure they do.
and they love to get Michael is the waiter we try to get when we go there.
Jesus.
So they want
Great
the
name.
same waiter,
Great name.
same waiter, same order, something that comforts them in life.
What do you think is going to happen on the hill? You got all this new development over on the.
It is heated.
Yeah, I need to hear this.
What
I
is
like
what's
so
the
first,
big place they're building?
That's so it's a new. It's going
It's
to be
like
condos.
a neighborhood, condos, and then
It's a whole
homes.
block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
talking
there's
about, like,
already
the thing
modern
by-
homes
Thing
there.
by Ragazzi's and like
Yeah.
right behind the church.
Yeah,
and
right
everything.
there.
That's like going to be a neighborhood. So they started digging all this out, and then they found out they couldn't put basements in the homes, and people are pissed about that.
Oh boy.
Why
Peop-
can't they put basements?
The
Like a
whatever,
rock deposit.
Yeah, whatever they are building on is not conducive to basements.
Seems like something you would have known ahead of time.
You think that
They-
this
they
is? I
typically
mean,
but
survey
then we
like-
got
this
the
is a
Trolley
20-year
Hill
fight.
fiasco,
this
so-
yeah,
This is a
this has been
20-plus
going
year
on
fight.
forever, and I mean they're
wow.
having meetings on it like every week. I mean it is one of the more controversial Hill things of my lifetime.
Oh wow.
And at the
More than when the black family moved on.
Oh
it.
boy, I
Like-
remember that day. I was in the. I remember that day.
What are the demographics doing over
I
there?
want to say the St. Louis American bit cover.
What, they sent Alvin Reed in?
Black family moves to the hill. I remember that edition.
Now, in regards
Is there a
to,
plaque on that? Wherever
yeah,
it is now.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Police 911 calls go up 1,000%.
Now, when black
They're
family,
grilling in their backyard.
when black families move onto the hill, do the current residents get rid of the stable boy statues they have in the front, or do they keep those out there?
When it happens, I'll let you know.
It's like it's understood. It's like a village out of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like blacks like,
Y'all don't go there.
yeah, that's them. Like it's just like that's theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's theirs.
I think maybe you guys feel
You
bad
get your
for
word,
what you did to
they get
Sicily.
that neighborhood.
like right. It's like yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Have
We'll,
you-
stop-
Travis,
we'll-
have
we'll
you
drop
seen-
in from time to time to impress a white girl just
Yeah.
to take her to an Italian dinner. But that's mostly theirs.
Travis, have you seen Emo's Piazza? No.
Nope.
No. I
sure
have not.
haven't.
I've seen the new Piazza. No.
That's right. That was great. I mean, I feel like they built that for me. I had to walk across the street, take all my wedding pictures there, and then I was done for the day.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
It was
was-
amazing.
That's nice.
I was worried. Gaines's wedding was set up, but it was like earlier in the day wedding, 6 o'clock reception, 7 o'clock reception. I was a little worried. My cousin got married a few weeks before you. Similar thing. Similar, went to, still got his boys. They like to party. You did a good job. I was worried you were going to be sloppy Gaines by
My
the time
mom
you got back.
was the most worried about that
Mm.
and made a comment about it daily
Ah!
until I got married.
Ah!
No one loves a drunk groom, Michael. No one loves a drunk groom. All right, Mom.
Were there any
That
members?
is
Were there any members of the
fantastic.
wedding party that did kind of happen
Yeah,
too?
so the sister-in-law got a little
Oh, boy, this
drunk,
was
and
so
that was
good.
a pretty nice speech that she gave.
Oh, it was an
It
all
was-
timer.
It was, I mean, it was straight out of a movie, kind of like the DJ.
Tara Reid would have played this
The
character.
DJ comes up to me afterwards and was like, "Oh man, that's like the worst I've ever seen." And I was like, "How many have you seen?"
Oh my!
How many have you seen?
Oh my!
It was pretty damn funny.
It
And
was.
then I was on the
Can I-
dance floor for whenever your father-in-law did the knock it the off.
Yes,
Enough.
yes. She fell over on the
Enough.
dance floor and like it was. Yeah.
This
And her
Ugh.
her date or significant other matched her. If you kind of sussed out the whole, I wasn't mad at him or anything like that. I just note things, and it was hilarious.
They were having fun.
They were having a good time.
Yes, it's funny. I
Gaines'
get to make
shirt
fun of
came
him.
off. That was a highlight.
Yeah, a few times.
I like when people come through with what you expect. Play the hits.
The song of the wedding was "No Hands" by Waka Flocka
That
Flame.
makes sense. Makes sense. Very
Didn't they play it twice at the
Play
end?
it twice at the
beautiful,
end.
beautiful, just absolutely beautiful.
And for all you receptioners, wedding people, Gaines, you did something really, really smart to make sure your reception stayed fun. You broke up the dance circle because it's too much pressure on people, and we all don't have those one-on-one moves. 5 minutes of the dance circle is plenty, especially whenever only 3 of you did it. He broke it up. He's like, "That's enough. Just dance."
Yes, I was getting so like every song was turning into a dance circle. So I went up to the DJ. Please make an announcement to stop forming dance circles. Like white people love
I
dance
do
circles.
love circles of dance.
Okay, back up. Here we go. And then one person might be able to do the worm, and then you have a couple.
Exactly.
You have a couple Egyptian things, and then that's it.
Maybe I'll put just on my own put something together for that to honor the dance circle during Cocktoberfest this year.
Yes, yes.
I never thought of that one, but
They
that's a
love
good one.
dance circles.
Remind me
We,
of.
I guess,
I'll
love dance
forget about this, so if I don't write it down. But remind me about dance circles once Cocktober comes around.
And then Dave is so wacky. Look, he always gets in the middle of the dance circle, and he's not good at dancing. He just moves his body
I
around.
think that
Yeah.
it kind of like makes like some of the Office episodes now make sense. Like when they had the dancing in the
Yes.
in the office after they left the Michael Scott Paper Company, and then the reception or the dancing when Andy completely
his scrotum.
tears his scrotum.
Yeah.
So now, because I'm thinking like, oh yeah, they all were in a dance circle. That was a thing.
was.
I never realized that. Huh? I
I
want to
went
take
to
that
high
back to our
I went to high
meetings.
school with like 270 Andys.
That's right. That is the truth. Oh, that is hilarious.
I was.
Oh, that's good.
That's so good. I was discussing your high school with your former boss,
Yeah.
Mike Jones,
Yes.
a few weeks back, and he's still enamored by you guys and your antics. He found you to be incredibly entertaining.
He's the greatest, and I'm so happy they had a good season last year. 'cause
Yeah.
he's such a good guy, and I was a little nervous for him.
Yeah,
What was the ceremony at St. Ambrose?
It was.
bet your ass it was.
So were they even talking about neighborhood stuff at your wedding?
So I
Does that have because you were talking about this thing's going on?
So
'Cause I know St. Ambrose runs that joint.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I used to, and Bomarito's the pastor.
Father Bomarito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I used to like clean the rectory. Like,
Yeah.
that was my job when I was younger, and so he talked a lot about that. He actually said it was my church. He gave me the church on my wedding day. So now I own St. Ambrose. I
So
believe I get
I was there. I can vouch for
Fascinating.
that.
I get about 10% of the
Yeah, that's how that
Ties.
works.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just great.
So
It's great.
whenever families look to move into the hill, now they have to go through you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
'Cause I
You'll
know the
know-
system there.
You'll notice if you go on like Zillow, there are never houses for sale on the hill.
Ever.
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 Like just put the zip code of the hill in, and there are
It's
no
like
there are no it's like
no search found.
there are houses being sold,
Yeah.
but they're never on Zillow.
they're
It's the
called
weirdest thing.
They're called text message deals.
Yeah. What's going on?
What
here?
is happening on the hill? I feel like there's all kinds of brand new giant houses popping up.
Yes, and it is really making people mad because
I'm not talking about like a nice city home.
No, they're
I'm
huge.
talking Bel Air giant, 5,000 square feet.
And
home.
everybody-
I want to move there
everybody's-
just to gossip right now.
everybody's
Oh, yeah.
property tax is going up, and the olds are not happy.
It's like, did you really need a guest house and 5 giant marble columns in
Yeah,
your front?
just because Gabagool builds his house, I got the same house since 1926. So why isn't my? It's like, ooh, sorry.
Oh man,
Sorry.
that makes me so happy.
So are they sending letters? Who would they be sending letters to? It'd be FX Daily, maybe.
That'll be there.
Yeah.
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 Well, there's Joe Valmer's the alderman of the Hill, and my neighbor, my old neighbor who passed about
Owns
15
owns
years ago,
Milo's.
owns Milo's. He passed about 15 years ago. Hated Joe Valmer and the way that he took care of our alley, because there was a big hole behind his garage that every time it rained would have a huge puddle. So he
The
built
pothole.
Yeah, so he built
Ah.
a sign. He built a sign right by on the electric pole. He hung up the sign, and the sign said Lake Valmer.
I love pettiness.
It's so great.
Oh, it's brutal.
That's good.
This is my same neighbor. His name's Jimmy Garanani. He
Of course.
he had an apple tree in his backyard, and birds would always get into the apple tree,
Yeah.
and he would bring his shotgun out and just shoot at the tree. He got so mad one day. What he thought he was doing was chasing a bird all the way up to the church. He probably saw like 17 different birds and just kept chasing a different
Oh
bird
no.
and was
With the
shooting
gun?
at the steeple of the church with the
When did this
birds.
happen?
There's a bullet hole. Luckily, the kids
God!
are like off school. That there's a bullet hole in one of the classroom windows from him doing this.
Oh my God.
Yes, and so it was in I think it was my 5th grade classroom where the bullet hole was. One of the kids asked the principal, "What is this from?" And she told a version of the story to the kids of why it was there. And I raised my hand in class and I was like, "That's my neighbor Jimmy."
Oh my god.
Oh, if these walls should talk.
It's
That's
a great
fantastic.
neighborhood. It's a great neighborhood.
Well, that's St. Louis, right? Little
Yeah.
neighborhoods with these stories and pettiness. And
Yes.
that should be the argument against condensing the amount of aldermen in the city. Is
Is that
like, what are we gonna do with our stories now? Like, we need
that's
more
true.
people to
they're
hate
go-
on and
they're-
gossip
yeah,
about.
they're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah, like if they wanted to message it properly, that's what they would do, because that's us. That's who we are. Instead,
funny.
if they really want to sell it to people, that's how you would do it.
You know how easy it is for you to complain about your alderman, and you know where they
Yes.
live.
Yes.
You're not going to know where your alderman lives in the new
Yeah.
in the news.
I see mine in the grocery store. I glare at them.
Do you really?
Yes, I glare at them.
You glare.
Not weird.
Because I know if I talk that it's just going to escalate.
I fist bump my alderman. What's up, Meg?
You got a progressive. I got Joe Rody. All he does is probably take money from the house fund ones, tax rebate. Yeah, you don't
I
do
didn't hear what he
much.
said.
Wow. he's
Yeah,
just
I didn't want
grumbling
to say
along.
too
Yeah.
much.
Gaines,
mumbled.
we were talking about One Cardinal Way earlier. Is that going to be the biggest win of the offseason for the Cardinals?
The only way. And they're going to be good.
I was
They're going to be good enough, and it sucks.
I was
You
I
pick
was
up
being reasonable the
800
other
wins
day.
from the Pirates. And
Well, I was being reasonable the other day with Jeff Jones. He made a reasonable explanation for how the season could potentially play out, and I said, you know what, I ate a lot of crow last year when it came to the Cardinals, so I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna relax. Gardner didn't believe me. He didn't think like, Travis, you don't have it in you to keep
You were
proper
calling
composure.
for Magic Johnson to
Yeah, I
replace
did.
John
Well,
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
so
was.
I have a problem.
Uh-oh.
other than
I
Game One.
have a budding rivalry
Oh, boy.
with the star pitcher
Yeah, we know.
of the St. Louis
We're very
Cardinals.
well aware.
We've
We talked
actually
about it,
interacted on
so-
Twitter.
Yeah, we talked about it on this show.
I don't know if I can have this rival
Is there a time?
He's
like
too
Co-
good.
but no, the reason is
Kobe,
Kobe.
'cause of
that we-
Kobe was the
Kobe and
reason.
LeBron.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm kind of mad that Kobe's death took.
Away.
If I could be selfish for a
you
second,
took away your
my rivalry
important rivalry with
Jack
the
Flaherty.
ace of the St. Louis Cardinals.
It even led you to delete a tweet.
I deleted a tweet.
Yeah.
You deleted a tweet.
So that LeBron obviously passes Kobe on that Saturday, and I went to Jack Flaherty's likes on Twitter, and he was liking. He liked a post from Speak for Yourself FS1 show with
never do
Jason
that,
Whitlock,
never do that.
where Jason Whitlock talked about how Kobe is a better role model than LeBron James. I won't comment on that because Kobe recently died, but
Right.
I took a picture, a screenshot of his likes, and said, like, hashtag prayers up. Jack's really going through it right now, and I deleted that tweet because the next day
It was
we
the
got
next
news
day.
about
That's
the,
what happened.
Because I texted Gaines. I said, hey, you might want to lay off Flaherty for a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I deleted the tweet. And I was like, just so you know, I understand why you did it. But if Josh Hawley were to pass away, my tweets stay.
Yeah, that's it.
They're not going anywhere.
But yeah,
But
so
I
like,
understand.
You know, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go from there.
I think it's probably over.
Yeah, I know, and I'm
And
sad
it
about
sucks.
it.
And then Jack Flaherty, and he was one of the many things I had to eat crow about last year. And I was trying to be a reasonable Cardinal fan, and then the Mookie Betts deal happens, and I lose my shit again.
Or has it happened?
Or has it happened?
Dun,
That's right.
dun,
Currently,
dun.
a prospect is apparently waiting on a prospect's exam to officially.
Yeah, some
They'll
guy
figure
named
it
like
out.
Buterol or something, Gasterol.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
But I kind of got back in my feelings about the St. Louis Cardinals.
Is it
after
because
watching-
Mookie's black?
It really is, because I could see Mookie Betts being the face of the St. Louis Cardinals for the next decade, and it'd be the best thing for this organization, especially as it continues to try to grow as a brand beyond St. Louis. And I have a guy that's in his prime, that's a black, that we want to talk about drawing more African-American fan support into the sport, the things I thought he could do for the Cardinals. But I think he can probably do that, maybe with the Dodgers as well. I just wanted him to do it here in
Well,
St. Louis.
I would have been
And he wasn't going to
scared.
do it in Boston. So
No.
Here's what I would have.
Mookie, never heard of him.
Yeah. What I would have been afraid of is if he came here and then didn't sign a contract with the Cardinals, then to see the response from the fans at that point, I just would have been like, I don't know if I could handle this.
I'm
right now."
surprised. So I'm surprised of two things. We haven't seen like piece on Mookie didn't want to stay in Boston because Boston is racist. We haven't seen
Yeah, I
that
didn't see
yet.
that one.
I'm surprised about that. And then we haven't really seen any vitriol from like the Boston sports media folks who
Generally
like,
idiots when it comes
I saw
to these
clips
things.
yesterday that
Right.
were actually mad at the Red Sox
Right.
and not Mookie, which surprised me.
Yeah,
Maybe they're growing up.
Oh,
I-
how many more?
What?
or maybe reality's starting to set in New England that the sun could be setting on the Patriots. I don't know. Or maybe they just realize, maybe we need to just be nice to the brothers because the Celtics are really good this year.
But it is nice that I feel like we're finally getting to a point of it's still not great, but people are finally realizing owners are rich.
Yeah.
It's I think,
Maybe stop blaming the player.
Yeah, I think especially with the Red Sox, like this is I think that's why a lot of people
that
are.
dude is insane.
He's worth, I think if I'm not mistaken, close to $3.5.
My
$4 billion.
favorite story about John Henry is he just gave a percentage of Liverpool to LeBron so he could be his friend. LeBron owns a part of Liverpool,
And
which
he
John
gave it
Henry
to him
also
because
owns. They
just
basically have
wanted
a
to
contract that says like, hey, if I need you to come to like a party or something,
Can
you will make your best effort to make that party, kind of thing.
Wow.
And that's how LeBron owns like 2% of Liverpool.
I
Buy your friends. Interesting.
it is
Friends.
It is just
Friends.
it is weird. The Red Sox, the way they went about it. I mean, not went about it. I guess it's just weird. Like an organization that's so comfortable handing out massive contracts, and here's a guy who is literally one of the top 2 players in the game, homegrown, and you're not extending. It just seems very weird time for the Red Sox to go cheap 2 years after a World Series.
Well,
The dumbest rationale is, and the Cardinals are using this now.
Oh, of
is
course.
my bad. I can't afford to pay good players because I paid bad players money. Like that seems like the easiest way
Right.
to turn into
Well,
a bad
and the Red
team.
Sox used to. And look, they've gone through some upper management churn here
Yeah,
over
they
the
have.
years.
Yeah, they have.
Just look at the last 8 to 10 years. So it's not the same group, not necessarily the same ideology constantly, but what they have been able to do, and I think maybe Theo did this some when he was there, but they've signed bad contracts.
Yep.
And they've risked it, and they've
Correct.
signed them to long-term deals. Like Carl Crawford's one that comes to mind.
Pablo Sandoval.
But you get a little bit out of them
Okay,
first
they got
couple
none
years
out
or
of it.
whatever.
Right.
But you also, part of the skill of being an executive now in baseball is being able to turn those around, getting rid of them and still getting something back. That's part, like, it's,
They won a World Series with
Yeah.
Hanley Ramirez's like $36 million contract just sitting there.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got,
so,
he got
like,
cut,
that's
basically.
part of the skill of being a general manager and president of baseball operations now is being able to say, hey, we're going to have to bite the bullet on this at some point,
Right.
but we're going to do it now because it's going to help us now, and then we have to find a way to flip it around later. And where I think the Cardinals' approach is a little more conservative and prudent in that regard as they see it, and not willing to take those risks.
But and I
And-
think
and-
it's important to talk about the owners in all of this.
Right.
Like, I just think DeWitt is way more involved in all of these decisions than we give.
Oh,
credit
he's
for.
involved, yeah.
You bet your ass.
And like, I think John Henry now is getting a little more involved. It was like I hated paying Hanley Ramirez and Pablo Sandoval that money, even though we hoisted the trophy that year.
Do you think?
Yeah,
But
it's
not
a
only
weird
hoisted,
look.
but not
It's a
only
weird
hoisted,
thought.
It's a weird
but
thought.
not only hoisted the trophy, the value of these teams have increased. So I'm saying it's not as if
Oh,
they're still
yeah.
losing money by paying more money to these players. Their revenue continues to increase. So my thing is,
Like the greatest investment ever was buying a sports team in the 90s.
90s,
or
absolutely.
Early 2000s.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm trying to understand, I guess, the rationale behind, like, are the days of the generational player gone? Are we no longer willing to say the Mike Trouts and the Mookie Betts are now guys who don't build an entire, like, I always thought it was draft well, develop, becomes a stud, keep him forever.
Well, we'd be
Yeah,
we'd be
it's different.
remiss in talking about the current CBA as a problem for this as well. I mean,
Okay.
when these teams control a player for as long as
Yeah,
they do,
True.
they are actually making the smart decision
Right.
because they're getting the most out of
Out of
these
the player
players,
without having to.
and then they just
And the
reset.
players also know this.
Yeah, they're
Correct.
starting to definitely
And,
realize
and,
this.
and you'll see some of the stuff written about Mookie Betts here recently, where he knows it himself, and feels a responsibility to the Players
Yep.
Association and
Right.
others to get to free agency,
Right.
to get that money. And we're talking like, and there's rumors around $400 million possibly.
And I mean, honestly, if the CBA is different,
And
let's
Jack Flaherty, your boy.
I'm about to say
Flaherty
Jack
yeah,
is-
Flaherty's going to be
100%.
that situation. That's what I was.
Cardinals
that's why,
know this.
Yeah, and I feel like he is going to be a familiar situation like Mookie is. I'm just going to feel like, oh wow, we're about to deal away our ace because the Cardinals aren't going to want to pay that money, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, and I think I truly think we'd see a different system that would benefit everyone if they cut the years of control in half. And I know the owners don't want to do it, but I think if they really thought about it, okay, like let's use Mookie Betts. His first 3 years in the league, he was not as great as his second 3 years, but you saw the player that he could have been.
Right.
Red Sox after those first 3 years or during those first 3 years sign him to like a Ronald Acuna deal that he signed last year.
Yeah.
I think the Red Sox would have loved to do that. I think Mookie Betts would have loved to have that in the first 3 years of his deal. But since it's 6 years of control, the Red Sox were able to twiddle their thumbs until he was going to hit free agency.
And now he's
they
developed
trade him.
into what he is
Yeah.
as well.
So
And
I
that's-
do think it'll benefit the players, and I don't think the owners will see it
and
that
it's-
way.
It would be, it'll throw some things off if you were able to address
Correct.
that, because that's what management uses in terms of dealing players now too. How many times do you have here years of control? Years of control is a currency in terms of making deals in today's game.
Talk to the Pittsburgh Pirates on
Yeah.
how many years of control they got for Garrett Cole.
It's like, okay, how many years of control
I
we
think
get
that was
back?
like the craziest one. Like they got something like 30 plus years of control for Garrett Cole. None of it panned out, but
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's part of it's technically money in the game these days.
Do you guys think that owners and management in today's modern times, and he's passed away, but David Glass, owner for the Royals, that technically they were bad for 30 years, 20 years, have a 3 to 5 year run where they're interesting and cap that off of 2 World Series appearances, 1 win, and then right back into the shitter. Do you think they look at him like, God damn, that guy had it figured out because he still made money hand over fist. He
Yeah,
still sold his team for an absurd amount of money and literally just sat back. They weren't even creative about having young players and doing that. Do you think that these guys look at a guy like that and go, that's the key? Except that guy.
Some of them do for sure. And I just, there's so many ways when you're as rich as they are to make the money that they can make.
And you collect wins in different columns that we as a fan would never even think of as being wins.
But it just blows my, like, why, if it really truly was all, like, just buy a CD or something and get guaranteed 3% interest over 6 months. Why are you buying a sports team?
Right.
Sounded like you were a middle of the day commercial on Game Show Network there.
It just,
Yeah.
but it
Tell you
blows,
about this reverse mortgage.
Exactly. It blows my mind
No,
that
for
these
real.
people buy sports teams and then don't want to win.
Because they want the
sports
shine
teams.
of saying that they're that, and then they're going to
Well-
go, but I'm still going to do it how I would my investment properties.
And Mina Kimes did a piece on ESPN about NFL owners and how some of them get more satisfaction about hiring a coach away from another team or winning a bidding war to hire a coach than they do like playoff victories.
Wow.
Because
Like,
then that's them.
It's exactly they're the ones
Yeah.
accomplishing getting that coach.
It's a
and
personal gain
yeah,
for
it's
them.
a
then.
dick measuring contest with
Yeah.
all the other owners.
On the
Like,
field, they don't have any control. really.
exactly. It's got to be. It's like Chris is saying. It's a world we probably can't relate to with some of these guys.
And that's why it becomes annoying to us because it isn't relatable. And you're like, what the fuck? are you
Because we're
doing?
just looking for wins.
Yeah.
We're just looking for playoffs. We're looking
and
for
like-
glory.
Oh, that's why I like
And
you.
entertainment.
I was gonna say a good product also. Along the line, and that's my thing. I know, I get the likelihood of the Cardinals being able to go out and win the World Series. We know the probability and how difficult that can be, especially when postseason comes around. So I don't think fans are just saying World Series, World Series, World Series. I think the fans want a good product, something they can be proud of, something they can cheer for and say it's one of their own. And that's more of my issue recently with the
Something to
Cardinals.
tune
Is
in.
something that excites the fans. And that's what I thought Mookie Betts did both of those things. Mookie Betts got asses in seats and made the Cardinals competitive, would make them competitive year in and year out.
That's
So,
true.
Or whoever you would put, like a Nolan Arenado in that place. But that's my big hang up. I'm not, winning 88, 90, slipping into the playoffs, winning maybe a game in the NLCS. In this case, this past year, none. But that seems to be the way of the world for the Cardinals. I just feel like the fans deserve better, especially since they're paying a decent amount of money to watch your
Well, yeah,
product.
and that,
I don't know if that's fair.
and that's the disconnect between the DeWitts and because the DeWitts will sit there and be like, we're 11th in revenue and
Right.
we're 7th in payroll,
Right.
and it's like, who cares?
Right, that's
dude?
not
I
what
don't-
it's that.
I want Bryce Harper. Like I
Right.
want to just like
I want to
the
wear the jersey.
entertainment
Yeah,
factor.
exactly. I want the jersey. I want the
Especially-
bobbleheads. I want
We like every team was so stupid in the 2000s, and
Yeah.
we just stole Larry Walker and stole Scott Rowland. And
They had a good plan then because
We-
they were able to take advantage of
yeah,
it. They,
every team
they
was
had
so
leverage.
dumb. Every team was just so dumb, and the Cardinals weren't. And
God,
now
they
teams are
did.
smarter now,
Yeah.
and we're just like the same smart guys in the room. and-
Cardinals won't budge on that.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we'll get one of you guys. No, you won't, man.
Well, and I make fun of the vocabulary, Mosaic terminology and Gersh terminology, because it's all business terminology.
Right,
Yeah.
You'll look it up and it'll be buzzwords that you'll hear in meetings, and that's I don't know if
Do
your
you
calculus
think?
is right.
Do you think Mo popped a bottle of champagne this offseason when all the Astro stuff was going down?
He better have fucking sent a bag of cash to Correa, my man.
Yeah.
Didn't sing.
He had to be.
You know what I've wondered?
I've wondered that. Me and Gardner actually talked about that one time on a drive, and we were trying to get inside of his head when this all was breaking, and I think a part of him there is a small bit of vindication.
DeWitt too.
Like a little.
DeWitt as
Because
well.
by all reports, DeWitt was pretty embarrassed about the hacking.
I would imagine so.
scandal.
I would imagine so.
And I don't know. I don't think he feels like vindicated or anything
Right.
like that. But I just think they all feel like, all right, everybody loved talking about the Cardinals. And
Right,
like,
but
we
now
finally
we-
got the Cardinals.
now we can
Now it's
finally
like,
take
oh,
some
yeah,
of that
they were
bullshit.
just all scum.
Right,
Do
exactly.
you think they did the little super slow Grinch smile?
Yes.
Oh, no
yes.
doubt.
Yes.
No doubt. And I think that there are probably other owners and presidents of baseball operations around the league who probably also did the same thing.
Oh,
I don't think,
100%.
I think just
Yeah, but
The Cardinals definitely
Well,
felt
'cause
like
you-
a little bit
Luna
of
was in your organization.
Yeah.
You bred him.
yeah.
He is the reason you had frustration within your organization and upper management
Yeah.
in the late 2000s.
Yeah.
And I mean, Mo acts like he's not. He's totally tuned into what the fans are saying.
Oh, absolutely.
And one of the favorite fans things, did we keep the wrong guy? It was like, which I thought was totally
I
unfair.
agree,
and I'm a
agree.
Mo hater.
I mean,
Like,
I agree.
I thought that was totally
Me
unfair.
too.
But he knows the fans were like, oh, look at Luna, look at Luna.
I wonder when the last time, and I don't know, I wonder if they've spoken at all. I wonder if Mo and Correa have talked at all since he went to prison.
Carrier pigeons.
I would just like if I could ask him
I
that
would- if I-
question,
if I were to
and I would preface it with this. I would say, you don't even have to tell me what it was about. I just want to know, have you spoken at all?
If I had to guess, no.
And just to start there, just give me an answer. Have you spoken?
Would you give me a guess? Do you guys think? What do you think?
I
Gardner?
would say no.
I would say no.
I would
He's
say
too
no.
calculated.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
It's
say
too
yes.
much of it.
Really? I
Yeah.
think Mo is just so methodical in his thinking
Yeah.
that no way he even picks up a phone.
Yeah, I think that too. He's like,
No, it's not even worth the risk.
Nothing personal.
No, I feel
And also, you don't know what how I'm sure the relationship right away was frayed when all this went down and was
absolutely
gone.
Yeah.
And now that this happens, it might be hard for someone like Mo or anyone else with the organization to face a person then too.
They're gonna still
To
need some
know what
distance.
that person went through, that they went to prison.
They went to prison.
for
Kept
that.
Kept their mouth shut.
And,
Kept their mouth
and
shut.
yeah, and we brought this up, and because it was in that Sports Illustrated article that Ben Reiter wrote. There's that quote in there where he's asked about if anyone else was involved in this and that way, and he says, "I wouldn't want anyone else to go through what I've gone through." That tells me all I need to know. You can read between the lines there.
Yeah,
Put
100%.
it
And-
this way: when the statute of limitations are officially up, then I may see a situation where Mo reaches out and says something to Correa.
Well, and this
That's
is
the
like
only
this was
reason why I thought
speculative,
they-
because they could have talked. They could be in
That's the
touch.
only reason I thought they might have talked is because by reading all that, Mo probably knew what was going on.
Do you think there's some kind of Tom Brady thing happening? Like, okay, Brady's probably missed out on, you could say, $80 million plus in his career,
At
taking pay
least.
cuts. Tell me there ain't some kind of backdoor, something that he's got the wink that he's still
Or,
getting taken
hey,
care of.
Look,
That's
the
what I'm
guy
saying.
was married at the time, and still is by all accounts, from what I can tell. Maybe, hey, let me check just see how the wife is doing with him in prison. Could be a call like that.
Could have been that. Could have been that.
Last I checked, I was trying to look up where he might be. It looks like he could be in California.
Is he still tweeting?
No, I haven't seen anything. But I don't know. I'd just be curious to know if they've at least touched base or talked since he went to prison. Especially after all we've gone through this offseason with the Astros stuff. And thank you, MLB. Thank you, Astros, for coming into this century with all of this. Because now, baseball Twitter got as lit as NBA Twitter for at least a brief period of time. Oh, come on now.
It was fine.
Your rival, your once rival, is a baseball player.
He is.
And then we had this.
yeah.
No, it was. It's been way more lit than it has been the past few
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I wish MLB players spoke out more. I'm not saying that it would attract more eyes to the sport, but I do feel like it's weird watching a lot of these young NFL and NBA players
Yeah, but-
just demonstrate their personality. But I'm saying is it works to their it's now makes sense where, it would be very goofy when you would have, back in the day, guys would just talk out of turn who would barely get any clock, but where you can be a Jared Dudley and have a personality on Twitter
Yeah.
and still play in the league and still,
But a
make
lot of this-
money off being like JJ Redick. Perfect example. Like MLB players are missing out on an opportunity to truly brand
Yeah,
themselves.
I mean-
Be careful though too, because a lot of those guys aren't interesting and are,
True,
are dumb.
true,
are-
true. No,
are
that's a
idiots.
good point. And they
always
probably
think
realize
about-
that too.
And think about the dudes who were studs at 17, 18 years old that are even higher level studs than most of the ones
Yeah,
we
that's a
knew.
good point.
They get shipped off to go play with 24-year-olds in the minors, and they don't ever have that growing up or maturation period, and they don't develop their own personalities. Hence why you see white
that's a
dude
good
with the
point.
same goatee and taste in music in Major League Baseball because they're frozen in cool guy high school time,
That's a good
and then they
point.
go and
That's
they,
another-
all they do is hang out with other guys like
That's a good
them.
point.
Is this another walk-up song by Shinedown?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Again?
You
It's
could
a
argue
different
the,
player.
You
same
could argue the
song,
same for
okay.
hockey players, maybe even
Yeah.
worse because
Well,
they get shipped
well,
off to the
but
And
juniors
also-
at
simple
16.
demographics too. Some of the guys
Yeah,
we
demographic, you
go
spoke to
to in NFL and NBA are on the front line of social issues.
Yeah, that's true.
not going to be the case in baseball.
That's the point.
Anything
Well,
just
and,
because
I mean, the most like the other baseball players can look at what the most outspoken guy on Twitter is Trevor Bauer in Major League Baseball, and is super vilified for it, and everybody kind of like hates Trevor Bauer. So all
that's
these
a good
other
point.
baseball guys are like, well, I don't want to be Trevor Bauer.
Well, okay, that's a good point.
yeah.
And then
Well, because Bauer's kind of an ass.
that's
Well,
what
Nolan
I mean. But he's
Arenado
the
had to
face
pull
of like
back.
MLB Twitter.
So they needed a
So-
different guy
exactly.
to be the guy.
That's
Well,
what I-
Tommy
like-
Pham. Tommy Pham needs to be the
Yeah.
face of MLB Twitter. He's
Nolan-
got the analytics. He's got the looks. He's just
know
got
what's
everything you
amazing?
would want for
I will-
social media.
Mazzella could roll off the next 4 World Series, and I'll still never like him
Like that
because
trade.
he traded Tommy Pham.
Tommy Pham. Was
Like
that.
that, our relationship ended that day.
Tommy Pham brought me so much. And it
Tommy Pham
wasn't,
was a real
it
one.
wasn't necessarily meant to be entertainment, but he gave me so much material in the
abrasive.
clubhouse.
Question, Travis: can white people say "real one"?
Not during Blackuary.
Ooh,
Any
that's
other
a good
month?
question. I say you're good.
Because I
here.
saw I saw a
good.
white person say that or tweet that,
Right.
and I was like,
That
"Do you know
feels
what
weird.
one? You know what one
The
means?"
way Gardner said it, though, it didn't sound like he was attempting to appropriate it. He rolled it into his own
Did
vernacular.
I say real one?
no, you said "real one."
I said real. Could Gardner
Like,
say
I
real
wouldn't
one?
say that.
I'm
but that's
a,
what,
I
like,
know
like
my
one
place,
means
Travis.
something. White people can't say what one means.
Well, it's like-
that's a point.
I was-
Gaines makes the point.
Remember my
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. Remember my question to you yesterday? Because you gave me a lift of Rosie's,
Uh-huh.
and you said, I'm about to get my black ass home.
Yeah.
And I
So
go,
why
is
did you
it-
just say
why is it always
ass?
black ass? Why is it?
Why you say
why
black
is it?
ass?
Why can't it just be your ass? I go, wouldn't it be weird? I say, I'm like, can I even say my white ass? Can I drag my white ass home? And he's like, I guess you can. I go, it just feels weird. Why
Yeah,
can't it
does
just be
seem-
your ass?
Yeah, like, man, I gotta get my white ass home. No, that ain't too bad, Chris. You say that all the time. Say it, Chris. I just time to get my white ass home.
About to get my white ass on top of this horse.
There it is. Hey, yeah, that works.
Yeah, that works. Okay, I guess we can. I'm gonna start saying my white ass and see if anybody gives me shit for it. Is that all right?
Yeah. Other things that work are our friends at St. Louis Counseling Services. You know
Oh.
them. You love them. Check out the podcast Mental Health Matters online, and be sure to check out stlouiscounseling.org for counseling services in the St. Louis area. They're here for you and yours since 1955.
Trade deadline tonight. Lakers make a deal.
They don't need to.
Did they
Lakers
pick
are
up Derrick
good.
Rose?
I just saw that fake Derrick, and then Derrick Rose doesn't want to be traded.
Oh.
He wants to stay in Detroit.
Yeah.
Is Detroit going to make the playoffs? Blake
No, I
Griffin's
don't
out
think so.
hurt, right?
Yeah, Blake Griffin's been playing. The Lakers are good enough.
You think so?
Yeah, they're the best team in the league.
Really?
They're I don't know if they're gonna have the best regular season. They're the toughest team to beat in a 7-game series.
Hey, they are the toughest team to beat in the 7 game. There's no doubt about that.
You know what?
LeBron's the most valuable player again in the
I
NBA.
agree.
It's
I
crazy.
agree there. I agree with you.
Yeah,
Ashley, do you
I'm
think they'll
not
win
mad
it?
at anything you're saying. I'm just upset that you two aren't on opposing sides.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very weird.
This
He
is
was very
kind
mad
of-
about that.
This
It's like,
is-
yeah, we don't. I
Yeah.
don't think we have anything. We can't even enforce it anymore.
The Lakers are so good.
Oh boy,
They are.
LeBron is like
how good are they?
LeBron's the best player to ever play the game, and he's gonna do the. So I've had this conversation with my friend the other day. He's helping my mental health because I got nervous last year and depressed as I watched LeBron play and I watched the Lakers.
You
play.
thought it was a wrap.
I didn't think it was a wrap.
You thought
but
it
I
was
was
Watch
like,
King.
I was like, oh no. It's the first time he felt human to me, and I don't know what I'm gonna do when he retires from the game of
boy,
basketball.
oh, boy.
Watching him play this year, he's gonna play till he's 50.
He
I'm good.
probably
I
will.
have 15 more
Man,
years
you ain't saying nothing but a word.
of
but a word.
of LeBron. 15 more years.
I just I'm enjoying LeBron, the human being. Like
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know. I think he's just fun to watch as a human being. Even when he makes mistakes, I'm still like,
He's Zuri has her
he
own.
made a mistake.
Okay.
Zuri has her own YouTube channel now. Have you
Does
seen
she
that?
really?
Yeah.
How cute.
Yeah. What
does?
mistake did LeBron make?
the whole China deal. That
Whatever.
wasn't-
Who
yeah,
cares?
that
Daryl
wasn't-
Morey made a mistake.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it, Gaines. Not today. Not today. We won't do it.
Daryl Morey-
We're gonna critique Daryl Morey. We should definitely critique him for this dumbass trade he just made.
No, Daryl Morey's a coward. Leave the tweet up if you were actually protesting something.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay,
All
everybody relax.
Daryl Morey went on a Euro trip and like got woke and then tweeted something out. Started World War III and was like, oh no! Oh, we have video too.
All right. I actually like this. I like this. If he's fake woke.
Fake woke.
All right. Okay. I'm into that. I'm listening.
There could
He
be
hasn't said a word since.
Yeah, because I got
He
mad
hasn't
about it.
said a
'Cause I
word
was like,
since.
screw you. Let these. If he believes in this, he should be able to say whatever he wants, and I don't give a damn about your
except LeBron.
bottom
then
line
took
because
issue with
LeBron
him,
people.
man.
But
LeBron's
no,
the
what I'm
most
saying.
powerful.
What I'm
He
saying was
actually
people.
was oppression by LeBron.
LeBron trying to
Yeah, that was my point.
LeBron's point
I was
was
like, somebody could say that
You can have
stuff
more
he
than
stood up
one
for in the
coward
past.
in a story.
yeah,
Yeah.
LeBron's point was how come the white
Not
people
in a
get to get
story
away
that
with all the
includes LeBron.
oppression and get paid and not me? That's what LeBron was saying.
That
was
was
it?
old.
How come y'all get away with the oppression to make money and I'm not allowed to do the same?
No, the thing is, LeBron didn't say much.
Darren Rovell says it's market value what those workers are getting in China.
All right.
Okay, he's
Man.
been there.
Oh my god! And did you see?
He knows people that work at Nike. Guys.
I know.
He
He tells me every day.
I know what he is now, but
You used to
we,
love him. You loved you some Ravel.
we all did
I
for
did
a
too.
week.
I
We
did
did
too.
for a week.
Everybody had.
I
their
was
then all of
like,
a sudden I was
I
like-
guess I've seen.
I thought he was fun. I was like, yeah,
Same.
I like hearing about
You know,
hot dogs.
okay, wait, time out. Let's go around the room.
That's what he used to do. He would tweet out like
How old
interesting
do you think
food.
Darren Rovell is?
God. 49.
It's got to be at least 45.
I want to say he's. So I'm trying to get over why I think you're asking this.
Yeah,
he's
don't-
okay.
how
I would
do-
have said
yeah.
43.
Yeah, he's like 39.
Darren Ravel's 39.
He was on like those 40
Yeah.
under 40 lists and
Yeah.
stuff. And maybe he's like 41 now or something like that. But I remember like I guess a few years ago he was on a 40 under 40 list. And I was like, wait a second.
Oh, he must
No,
have
that's-
loved that, Brandy.
No, I want to see. I want to see that
Well,
birth certificate.
And he skyrocketed as this like quirky, almost how Bill Simmons did. We're like, this guy's fun. He's saying like unique, weird things about sports. But then, and for all I know, he's making the most money he's ever made. So I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. But the perception, it went from like unknown to this guy, all right, to super hyper annoying, looking like he was gonna be maybe like a giant personality. To everyone was like, okay, get out of here, you
Yeah.
fucking dork.
He was born the same year as Kobe.
That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's Ravel. Who's your
Well,
who's
he
your big?
comes off as a twerp.
Yeah, he does. And
It's
he
'cause
also
we saw
some
him
of the
run.
things- and then-
Speaking
yeah,
of
well,
Simmons, how about yesterday?
big
What
deal
happened
for him.
with
Signed the
Spotify
Ringer.
bought
so
the right,
Ringer,
yeah.
Spotify. Simmons. Always knew the game. Obviously, from his time being with Kimmel.
I love Bill Simmons.
He always knew the game, so I'm not
Simmons
surprised
has
by it.
aged about 20 years in the last like 4 years.
I can see it.
Looks or opinions?
Opinions.
Is he just full on Boston Hawk? now,
Oh
or-
yeah,
I think-
oh yeah.
I think everybody
He
in
was
that,
fun
like,
Boston Hawk.
everybody from
Everybody in that age group aged a lot in the past 5
Yes.
years.
Due to what?
With their opinions. I think it's due to where
I haven't listened to him in so long.
It's
like
it's
it's
very
like
dated.
analytics have caught up with sports a lot, and though like that age I think hates like analytics the most.
think?
Where more like our age is more willing to like be like, oh, that's a good
Right.
point, even if we don't fully endorse it.
Interesting.
And I think it's because of analytics is ruining like their childhood memory.
Yeah,
of
well,
sports.
it ruins itself because it reevaluates.
Correct.
Things. And then also it becomes less anecdotal in your
Right,
kind of evaluations and less
And that was
romantic.
Simmons. That's Simmons
That was
kind of
his
thing.
thing.
That-
Yeah,
and, that,
yeah.
and that's always that happens with people I know.
That's weird to
it
me.
might happen, and this is the thing you have to be aware of to everyone in this room.
Yeah.
It might happen to you too.
100%.
I think it already.
And you
has
have to
a
recognize-
20 years from now, somebody's going to
Yes.
tell me what LeBron did wrong about basketball, and I'm going to fight him.
There'll be a
Well,
new metric or
yes, I'm
something.
gonna
My,
fight him.
I had an
Yeah.
involuntary
And it's-
reaction when he said he was the greatest basketball player ever because I'm just Jordan's tongue is all I can see in my head, and I'm like, don't say that out loud, Michael Jordan. But then I start thinking about it. I'm like, well, LeBron's 35 and he's 6'9" and he's giant and he's done it on all these things. So I will go to my grave saying Michael Jordan will take all your souls,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna see it. But
Change is
It
constant.
is
There'll be
strange,
something
though.
better that comes
I think
along.
of-
It just
No, there
it
won't.
happens.
I
Well,
think
that's
of
what-
Simmons along the lines of like Chuck Klosterman as this fun,
Yeah.
sportsy guy, but yeah, that's weird.
I think the
Because
funny thing
I
is,
even told you that about when you were talking about Kobe's death and why it impacts certain people, especially in your age group, is because that's part of your childhood and adolescence that's gone with it.
Right.
And that's gonna happen more and more.
well,
as
that we
you
saw
age.
that too with the analytics and Kobe's, game. The analytics is absolutely ripped Kobe.
He's probably the
and-
best point.
Yeah,
to
he's
make
probably the
about
one.
it.
That's why I think, he was the guy that drove analytics people just mad. Like, they're
Kobe-
like, what is this? This guy should not be celebrated. We're just like, shut up. We love it. He's putting up 80 shots a game.
It's Kobe.
Who gives a
It's
shit?
Kobe and Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
Like, it's Kobe.
Yeah.
And people get really mad, and then but it's like kind of true.
We got, but I don't know. I think it's the
Why are
kind
they
of basketball we
celebrating?
like.
Because they entertained us. That's all
Yes,
we really.
yes.
That's the
Correct.
bottom
Yeah.
line of everything.
Like
Correct.
Kobe, he did things like, I ain't never seen nobody do that on the court before.
Yeah.
That shit's dope. Fuck
It
your
don't-
numbers.
The rest of it don't matter.
right.
Like in the grand scheme of things, it don't matter. Did I enjoy it? Yeah.
Analytics people have a really big problem too, is because they're all white smug assholes.
Yes.
So like they need a rebranding of the people.
Yes.
They need
Tommy Pham.
They need a face for it.
They do.
They need like somebody cool to like
Tommy Pham.
rap the lyrics, right, Travis?
That's
to hit
basically
the,
how
yeah.
it is.
Rap of the
Thank you.
hip hop.
They need
lyrics.
a-
Rap of the hip hop.
Get the
lyrics.
blacks involved.
They need a Post Malone.
Well, isn't the
Somebody can.
What are they going to have, like
Is it-
a table tattooed on their face, like from?
isn't the Browns' new general manager African American and also driven analytically, I believe, as well?
From Harvard.
Yeah. So there's something because everything else is the trope is, hey, it's the Ivy Leagues, Ivy League
Well,
running all
like
these
all the
offices.
analytics people are the worst online too.
They are very smug. They do have to it is kind of Bernie Bro-ish. It's like, man,
Hey,
I
watch
want to
it.
agree with the numbers, but man, your supporters some assholes.
Yeah.
Gosh, can you please? And
Well,
that's kind of
and-
how it is. Like, we get that numbers are important. There's a new way to measure the sport. Can you guys not still take away the things that we like about the sport?
Well, the best part
Like-
of it is like it turns into Kobe sucks at basketball. And
Right.
And,
Like,
not,
whoa!
and not Kobe wasn't as good as we
Exactly,
once thought it was.
exactly.
Yeah,
thought
go
he was.
somewhere it shouldn't
like,
be.
oh,
It's
he
like,
sucks.
Kobe was Kobe was awful.
He was
Kobe
like, whoa. We just watched
Nah,
the games that are out.
I
Well,
definitely
I-
take it that way, that
because
place too. So.
and they have what happens, and this has been going on and went on in baseball in the early 2000s. I watched it all develop. Is they have a chip on their shoulder because no one will listen to them at first, and then no, I'm right. I can prove it to you. And then when people don't listen to evidence that they think is just, hey, it's easy to see, and they look, we see it in political discourse here right now. Here's the evidence. I can prove it.
Right.
And someone still turns away from evidence
Right.
or is slow to allow evidence in.
Sure.
Attitudes develop.
Sure.
And they're hard to get rid of. And I think
Yeah.
the attitudes are still there.
That's true.
And, maybe that changes over time. But there's still that clash going on. And because it's now, bled into other sports, not just baseball. And so that clash is still going on.
Yeah.
Before we get you out of here, Battlehawk,
Yes.
we doing this?
I just bought the home opener tickets yesterday.
Nice.
They're 10.5-point underdogs on the road in Dallas
Jesus,
this
of course
weekend.
he already knows the gamble. Oh, he already knows the line. Jesus
That's
Christ.
a big underdog.
They're gonna be bad.
How do you know this?
Vegas is down on them.
How do y'all know this? We're going to be bad.
I'm not gonna talk about. We're gonna be bad.
Oh.
They drafted a running back first. That was really dumb.
That they thought it was like actual fantasy football?
It's like
Should we start a?
Christine Michael's gonna be really slow.
Should we start
They
an?
drafted an old running back.
Oh yeah, the guy from the Seahawks.
The Seahawks. That's our starting running back.
Should we start
Oh,
doing?
We have
shit.
18 quarterbacks. I don't know
saw
if you've
that.
noticed
I
that.
saw that.
Should we do an
Solely the
XFL?
starter?
Is there an XFL fantasy football league anywhere?
The DraftKings is doing daily fantasy. I know. I don't know
Okay.
if there's like a league.
Yeah,
on- it's
you
on
have to have
Fox.
smaller number of teams in each league because of the number of teams in the.
Every Battlehawks game is nationally broadcasted.
That'll be fun.
That's crazy.
pretty
That's not. You can't even get that in the NFL.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
It's hilarious.
It's wild.
That's going to be so
Oh, I
awesome.
believe it. You
Give me
should
the
see
demographics.
These Cacaw shirts fly off. Look at them. You can get them through buyjack.com.
Give me the demographics of the fan base. How much?
Well-
how many are they come from SLU?
Knowing where they're doing their happy hours around St. Louis, and they did the first one in the city of St. Louis like a month ago only.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's gonna be a rural crowd.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'll be there though, tailgating.
call.
Sean wants me to come down where he works to try and make that the Battlehawks bar, Mo Bar and Grill.
I'm gonna go. I ain't been
Right
to the
there in
Dome.
Tucker.
Well, I don't know. Last time
Drink
I
it
was
with
in
the Post
I
Dispatch
think I've been to the
writers.
Dome
Yeah.
since the Rams were in it.
No kidding.
No, we went to
It's
the
gonna-
Comic Con.
so I think it's gonna
for
feel
a
the
sporting event.
It's
I don't
gonna
think
feel the same. About the same size crowd.
Same size crowd.
About the same talent on the field.
They were such a fucking terrible team.
It's
Me feeling bad about what I do to the scalpers on the way in. Like, bro, let's do some math here.
It's gonna be.
Guys.
I was talking about this with one of my friends who I had season tickets with the Rams with. I'm like, it's gonna be so nostalgic in that dome with the quality of play, plus like down 28-7 in the fourth quarter, and just like, well, guess I'll get another refill of my RC Cola.
Should I?
We're gonna do the thing
Are
we
they gonna
always
have
used to
RC
do.
Cola?
I mean, that's what the Rams had. The
Yeah.
Rams had RC
For my-
Cola.
for
Couldn't
my-
even get a
we're
Coke or Pepsi in
We're
the
gonna do the
dome.
thing we always do. I'm like, hey man, but that draft spot gonna be
Right,
awesome
right.
next season. It's gonna be, hey man, top 4 pick.
Hey, as a health challenge, do you and I want to try and get into the shape of the last Rams jersey we wore to Rams games?
Wow.
Who was your last jersey you wore?
0 Rams.
I'm about to say you probably gotta wear Adam Timmerman jersey now.
Yeah, my rule of
Yeah, you
I
can't-
did it as I got back in shape. But I think you can't wear jerseys for people you're physically larger than.
Yes,
I had James Laurinaitis, which that wasn't fair. I was kind of but I got into shape to wear that, so it's gonna have to.
Who was the last player jersey I owned? It was probably
Pace.
Bradford.
Oh, you had Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How great
Probably
was it
Bradford.
to see Isaac get the call?
It was awesome.
How great
My
was
first
that?
favorite player.
Yeah,
He was my
same,
first favorite
same.
player.
I was so
Amazing.
happy before I saw
And he
it.
tweeted St. Louis.
Oh, I love that part, and I love the part of he's been tweeting. Obviously, I didn't know he's getting measured for his jacket, and I just felt like a proud. It's like look,
I was
look at
thinking-
him get measured. Go ahead. Now,
So I
Isaac
was,
Bruce.
as a larger man, I was like, isn't that a little too early to get measured for the jacket? You know, what? Just put on a few lbs. It's not
Hey,
going to fit on
isn't that the
cheeseburgers
worst? For the
No,
summer.
it's-
Every wedding you've ever been in, they're like, it's 3 months out. You should get measured. I'm like, I'm gonna get in such good shape by your wedding.
Same.
I'll get
Same.
measured the week of. Thank you.
Same.
so
My
true.
my
It sucks.
wedding.
It's
My wedding. My wedding. I was like, oh, I'm gonna
so
lose.
true.
It was like 50 pounds for the wedding. I think I gained 40.
Because you do. Because you know you've got that ability, and if you're even slightly in shape, you will wear a suit that's just a little too small because
Yeah.
you'll look so much better.
Yeah.
But boy,
The amount of clothes I have in my closet that was like, oh yeah, I like how this looks. I'll be in shape by the time I need to wear it this summer.
did it 2 weeks ago. Had a friend mail me a really cool T-shirt from South Carolina, and he's like, "What size?" And I was like, "2 it." No, you know what? Give me a gold shirt. I want an XL.
No.
And I can't wear it.
See,
I
I'll-
look at this shirt. I'm like, I love
One of the
this
best
shirt.
decisions I've ever made in my life,
Oh, boy.
Give it
in
up.
my
Man, it's
life,
gotta be the
was
pairing.
that moment where I had to make a decision, where the XLs fit, but they were a little tight in the abdomen, and I'm like, okay, I can easily make this work if I lost 5 to 10 pounds.
Right.
Like it'll work, it'll be fine. Or am I a 2XL guy?
Yeah.
And when I said, you know what, be who you are, you're a 2XL guy.
I also did that the year going into freshman high school.
And when I did that, it's
Fifth grade.
felt great.
2XL.
It felt great. I'm looking for khaki pants with elastic waistbands now, and I feel right. I
There you
feel
go.
good.
Gardner, I remember that moment in my life, and then I remember the one that was the 2XL to the 3XL. Yeah.
Ooh,
No?
That was a tough one.
I had like I
The
said.
3Xs is a tough one.
3X when you're
2X is normal now. That's just
that's
American.
the average
size.
American.
We need
What
a
size are you? American?
We need a rebranding
Yes,
of
that's-
sizes
yes.
in America.
Yeah. The three.
Also,
Medium, large,
Guys-
American.
guys my size, when they go to like a DXL store,
Oh.
I feel so damn skinny.
Dude.
I feel
Ah.
so skinny at a DXL store. I go to Macy's and I'm like, oh fuck, I am a beluga whale. But put me in a DXL store, I
You're
feel
flirt-
like Jason Statham.
You're being
Like,
you're being flirty with the girl. You're like, you probably haven't had somebody this small in today.
We need to figure out. So we're gonna go 2X is American size.
The 2X
So we
is
need to
American.
figure out the pant size and all that as we go along here. What waist might
What
be.
size you wear? You wear Alabama?
You're Alabama.
Like you like, no, you probably could be a Georgia. You could probably, you're probably a Georgia. Go get some Georgias from the back.
Yeah,
Go get some
that's how we
Georges.
define
Right.
size.
We
Yeah.
should do it by country.
The Miami
state.
cut is something. we
No,
ain't
no,
ever
no, ain't nobody
gonna
touching
do
Miami.
that. It's too warm and there's too many beautiful people.
No, the pant sizes need to have states and like.
Yes.
I'm a New York 36.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if I'm a Missouri 36,
36,
that's like
yeah.
a 44. Like that's
New York. That is so true.
Yeah.
There are so many properly thick people in New York. Like, you're not fat, but you're thick. That's not a normal size. What are you?
I remember being 220 pounds and in pretty decent shape in LA, and they're like, "Well, you're a thick guy. You're a bigger guy."
And
And
you're
I'm
just like, "Wait a
I wear
minute."
34 jeans.
Right. It's like, wait, that's
like, what? I'm like, I'm incredibly hot. And they're like, "Well, yeah, you're a bigger fella." And I'm like,
They thought Chris
I don't
was
care
like
to
an
take my
offensive
shirt off.
lineman,
Yeah,
and the
I'm
guy
like-
was just tall.
I was like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could drop 10 pounds maybe, but yeah.
That's good. We're gonna
stuff.
do that. That's what we gotta do. That
All
sounds
right.
fun.
Thanks to all
Too
of our
much
wonderful
fun. Got the great
sponsors.
Michael Gage.
Good times all around. Thank you for coming in, Gaines.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure.
Wonderful time for Gardner, for Travis, for Gaines. We're back live tomorrow. Thanks to Tech Electronics for all the love in the studio.
Peace.